Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe, that is Jay, and this is the Watchalong for Manchester United versus Bayern Munich.
Yes.
In the Champions League. These are the days, these are the moments that we live for, Jay. If you're a football fan, if you're a United fan, anywhere across the world, Bayern Munich versus Manchester United means something. And when United haven't been in the Champions League in 2 years, and we haven't faced a competitor of this calibre in quite some time, let alone in the group stage, this is massive. This is everything. This. I don't know.
It's Sparta.
This is Sparta. How are you feeling, Jay, first of all?
I'm worried about myself.
Why?
Because I think I'm losing the plot.
You keep going toilet when you don't mean to.
Well, that's worrying as well.
That's been happening for some time.
It has. But I'm more worried about the fact that I have a bit of optimism for this game. I do. And yes, I have seen the team. And yes, I have seen Bayern Munich's team. And no, I'm not on drugs anymore. And yes, I'm aware of our record away from home against decent teams.
Yep.
And yes, I am aware of our record in the Champions League against decent teams.
Yeah.
So I understand that logic says we've got no chance. And in fact, I should be really concerned about us getting battered. But for some reason, I've more or less talked myself into the idea that we can do something in this game.
Are you aware of the fact that salad cream is basically just mayo with vinegar in it?
Is it really?
Yeah. But less about that. I sort of tend to agree with you. And before we get too deep into this, let's get into that team news. Because obviously we can't go anywhere without knowing who's going to play the bloody thing. So let's start with Manchester United's team. We've got Facundo Pellistri making his Champions League debut. We will get the graphic on the screen in just a second, but I'll read the names out. So we've got Onana, we've got Dalot, Lindelof, Martinez, and Reguilon. That same back four that started the game the other day against Brighton. Then a midfield three of Casemiro, Fernandes, and Eriksen. Again, last year's go-to midfield, one that we'll get into that because I think there's specific and particular things that we need to address there. And then a front three, again, I mentioned at the start, Facundo Pellistri making his Champions League debut with Rasmus Højlund making his Manchester United Champions League debut and Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side. There is the starting 11. Without comparison to the Bayern team, which we'll get into in just a couple of minutes, give me your thoughts, Jane. Give me your thoughts at home as well. Get into the comments as well. Get in the chat. Send your thoughts on the game. Send your predictions. Send all that stuff, and we'll get into that. But, Jay, first things first, what do you make of that team?
It's relatively logical, considering the injuries we've got. That back four makes complete sense because everyone else is out. Yeah. So I didn't expect to see Johnny Evans starting this game, and no disrespect to the kid, but I'm glad of that. The midfield... Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of a concern having Christian Eriksen in a game like this. I do like Christian Eriksen, but he's not the most physical and he's not going to get about the pitch as much as you like when you're faced with some of the players that Bayern Munich have got. But I get it. I think we might see Bruno dropping deeper and helping out Casemiro a lot more than he has been doing in the Premier League.
Yeah,
he
needs to.
He needs to. Yeah. The front three, I like the fact that I don't think that the two against Brighton really worked, Marcus and Højlund. I know it's only early doors and they've got to get used to each other, but I'd much prefer to see Marcus on the left as a left-sided attacker, Pellistri on the right, and Højlund down the middle. That is a good attack for me. That is an attack that could cause Bayern Munich problems, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that attack can get at them. Maybe I was saying this. I was doing something on the radio last night. And counter-attacking seems to become a dirty word in football at the minute. It's like if you're using counter-attacking football, you're doing it wrong.
It's like
you have to, you have to do a high press and you have to have most of the possession. And no, you don't. Like you've got to cut your cloth accordingly in certain games. And in a game like this, if we have to soak up a bit of pressure and then counter, and if you've got players like Højlund, Marcus, and Pellistri who are very fast, very direct, and very skillful, then we could cause Bayern Munich problems. We could, and that's what I wouldn't mind seeing. I just hope that when we are soaking up that pressure, it doesn't lead to them scoring early doors and us capitulating.
Yeah, I agree with that. The counter thing. It's like I said before. It's considered like, well, that don't count. Yeah. That's not you can't win doing that. You have to control everything, and if you don't, you're shit. It doesn't matter. It's not real. It's going to crumble. All these things. Like Solskjær was criticised for it no end. Finished second playing counter-attacking football or some counter-attacking football in big games. Yeah. Winning a lot of big games. Winning regularly at the Etihad. Beating Liverpool, not regularly, but occasionally.
Do you criticise Fergie for going to the Emirates? The Emirates, really. and playing counter-attacking football and beating Arsenal.
Or Barcelona in 2008.
Yeah, does anyone go, well, why did we do that?
Football at Old Trafford against him.
No one minded that.
No, because you win, it doesn't matter. Here's the team, obviously, we're speaking about it already. I want to look at that midfield. I also want to talk about Rashford in a bit more detail.
I know the way we've done it on graphic. I actually think Eriksen's going to be the front of the three in the midfield.
Do you?
I think he might have to just get Bruno Fernandes a bit closer to Casemiro. I think the one thing with Bruno is at least he can stick a foot in. Eriksen, people just go past him. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a situation where we've tried a few different things to try and counteract that. We tried Luke Shaw dropping in this sort of inverted fullback, sort of central midfield type thing, didn't we? This kind of false 4 or whatever you want to, false number 6. I don't even know what the term is, to try and alleviate this central midfield gap. We need some way around it because we keep seeing teams pushing through our midfield sort of uncontested, or you see Casemiro push out, he doesn't get the ball, and then there's no one else there.
Yeah.
We tried Scott McTominay in there, just an extra body and someone who's physical and leggy, but he was nowhere to be seen.
He was leggy for the wrong reasons. He looked like he had no fitness whatsoever against Brighton. I don't know what's up with him. Yeah. I'm not his biggest fan, but even by his standards, that was nowhere near good enough.
No, and he's got this thing, Scott McTominay, where he's just not involved in games.
No.
Like, I remember before we signed Casemiro, and I won't bring the stats up now, but I'll give general terms, but this is based on research that I've done, and I know the number. You know what I mean? I know that this is true. That when we were looking at Casemiro, people saying, "Oh, he can't pass. He's this destroyer." Da da da. And I looked, and I remember seeing that he was averaging more than 20 passes per game over Scott McTominay. And it's not like he was the most accomplished passer, or he's always on the ball, Casemiro. But what I realised is McTominay just isn't involved enough. He completes something like 28 passes a game, and for a central midfielder, it needs to be pushing 50 minimum. Like, you need someone who's actually has the ball at their feet a lot. And that's the thing with Scott McTominay, offensively and defensively, the game can just pass him by at times, and there'll be minutes on end, attacks on end, counter-attacks on end, back and forth, where he just doesn't do anything because he's stuck behind a man or he can't show for the ball properly. So you put him in and you think he's going to be this sort of robust workhorse, charging around, getting stuck in. But too often he just doesn't really do anything. And I can understand why he's thought, actually, I might as well have a player in there in Pellistri, because what we saw with the lack of a right winger against Brighton was that we just had no threat whatsoever. And that leads me on to my next point, which I want to get your thoughts on. The pressure and the expectation on Marcus Rashford is meaning that he is getting some of the most ludicrous criticism I've ever seen a player get. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a player score 30 goals in a season and 2 games into the following season be told he is worthless, he should be sold, he's shocking, he's the most overrated player in Europe. He's not only the most overrated player in Europe, he's not a top 10 player. Like, some of the things I've seen about Rashford in the last few weeks, you would think he had, he'd never scored more than 10 goals for United. He got 30 goals last season.
Do you know what makes me laugh about all this, right? I said this on the news the other day, and we clipped it up and we put it out there, and I had people losing their mind over it towards me. Not everyone, but a lot of people sort of just genuinely lost the plot and saying because I said we won't replace him with a better player. If we sold Marcus Rashford for 100 million, and the fact he's worth 100 million should tell you a little bit about it, that everyone, even his haters, seems to think we can get 100 million for him.
Yeah.
We won't replace him with a better player. Now people say, oh, we will, we can go and get Matoma from Brighton or whoever, or just a few random names, and I'm thinking, you're deluded. We have spent, right, this is no exaggeration, over 230 million quid on wingers, in the last 4 years. Those wingers, almost to a man, aren't good enough.
No.
Right?
No.
So what makes you think we're going to go out and just replace our top scorer with another winger who is going to be good enough?
Yeah.
Anthony and Sancho last season, between them, got about 8 Premier League goals. Marcus got 17.
Yeah.
Like, we spent 172 million euros on Anthony and Sancho. And between them, they didn't get anywhere near Marcus's numbers. So this idea that you're just going to go out and replace Marcus Rashford with someone who's going to get you loads more goals and just be much better and better at pressing and better at scoring in big games and better at doing everything is nonsensical.
It's
I'm
absolute
sorry.
garbage.
It is. You're talking rubbish. If you want to affect this team, if you want to bring in players for this team, The left-hand side of the attack is the last place I would be looking at. I'd be looking at bringing in another midfielder to help out Casemiro. I'd be looking at bringing in a right winger who we can rely on, because at the minute we don't know what's going on with Antony. Sancho, I don't really think he's a right winger, but even if he is, he's not really getting games. Maybe even a central defender, because we wanted Kim Min-jae, we didn't have the money for him. We know now we're one injury away from having Johnny Evans. I think centre-back is a more pressing issue than the part of the pitch where we got 30 goals from last season.
Yeah, and the weird thing with Rashford is, because of, I don't know what it is, I think it's a mixture of the fact that he's one of the faces of Man United. He obviously is an academy player, so he's someone that is incredibly, intrinsically sort of linked to Manchester United. But it's like whenever there's an empty gap, it's his job to fix it. Like at the minute, the other day I was looking at the heat maps for the game against Brighton, and there was no one who was sort of, their average position was on the right wing. We just didn't have a right wing. Yeah. It was Højlund down the middle, Rashford just to the left of him, no one on the right. And then in most other teams, or just, you would think logically that would mean people would go, United need a right winger. United are desperate for a right winger. Actually, what we should do is take the pressure off Rashford by having a right winger there. Yeah. Instead of that, people go, well, Rashford's got to do more now because we haven't got anyone on the right. And you're like, how is that his problem? Why is it up to him to fix the fact we literally don't have anyone on the right? Like, what would be great is, not only at the minute is he expected to be United's right winger or overcome the fact we don't have one, he's expected to score all the goals like he did last season, and he has to be a highly effective, assisting, creative left winger all at once. He should be doing one of those jobs, and he has to do all three. And when he doesn't do them all brilliantly, and I think what's he got, 1 goal, 2 assists already this season. When he doesn't, or 2 goals, whatever it is, he got
1 goal, 2 assists.
1 goal, 2 assists. When he doesn't do all three of those things, he's dubbed a failure. It's like, let him just do the job of a left winger.
And do you know what made me laugh as well? After that first half, he'd been causing Brighton so many problems. Yeah. And now we've got Wi-Fi at Old Trafford, which is more of a curse than a blessing. I was looking on social media, and people were saying after half-time, Rashford has been causing all sorts of dramas for Brighton. He's been all over the gaff. He's been getting down that wing. He's been beating his man. He's been doing well. And at full time, I was seeing, in some cases, the same people saying that performance by Marcus Rashford is the worst I've ever seen from a Manchester United player. Yeah. Like, hang on a minute. At half-time, you're telling us everyone how good he was. And now it's the worst performance you've ever seen. I'm sorry, right? But Scott McTominay was right there, and he didn't do anything during the entire game. Yeah. And it's like people want to dig out the guy who has, last season especially, got us out of jail a lot of the time. It doesn't make any sense. I want to get into Rashford in a minute, and I want you to get into some of the comments. But first of all, can we go through the Bayern Munich team? Because if we are going to see anything from Marcus Rashford, a big part of that could be who he's up against, because there's certain players I think he suits playing against. Yeah,
so we'll go through their team. Ulrich, then we've got, it's done in number order, so we'll have to sort of piece
try and
it
work it out.
We've got Kimmich, we've got Upamecano, we've got...
In terms of Upamecano, that's the player I was hoping to see.
Who's the other one? Is it going to be Conrad Lima playing at centre-back? And then we have got Kim Min-jae and Davies on the left. Then we've got Goretzka. We have got, again, I'm assuming Lima would be playing in midfield, but maybe he's playing centre-back. Goretzka.
Kim Min-jae not be at centre-back with Upamecano?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, of course. There we go.
That'd be centre-back pairing, won't it?
Yes. So, yeah, Kimmich, Upamecano, Kim Min-jae, and... Davies. Then it'll be Goretzka, Lima, and Musiala in midfield, and then we've got Sané, Gnabry, and Kane as well. Sané and Kane as your front.
I think if you look at that, and it's not just Marcus, I think Højlund as well could get a lot of joy against Upamecano. Yeah. Upamecano is one of those defenders. He's a bit like Casemiro in some respects. That when he's on it, he's mint. Some against PSG, I think it was last season, he looked like one of the best players in the world. Yeah. Some against Manchester City, and he was terrible. And I'm not even talking about Haaland making him look bad or whatever, which can happen to anyone. He just constantly gave the ball away. He had a stinker home and away. Yeah, he more or less cost them the game.
If it was like football in the 50s, he would just be put in prison afterwards because he was clearly cheating. Yeah. Like, it was just like, he was so bad, he has to have been bribed. Don't even bother with the trial, just get him in prison.
It was unreal. And we know from his days at Leipzig that Marcus can get some joy against him. Yep. So I think if we can target that little channel, I know obviously Kim Min-jae's decent and they've got players there who can help and can drop in and help out. But I would be thinking that Upamecano potentially, and these might be famous last words, because like I say, he can have a very, very good game. He's got it in his locker to be amazing. and I'm pretty sure it was a PSG game last season where he was unreal. But if he's having one, he's having one, and you need to exploit that.
Yeah, like he can be very good, but for instance, I've never seen Raphael Varane have a two-legged tie as bad as
he was, because I watched it, because obviously I'm a bitter United fan who wanted City to lose.
Yeah, I think we either watched
the second leg together.
Yeah, certainly.
Because the home leg,
yeah,
I was amazed Tuchel just didn't sub him.
Yeah,
because he was, when someone's having one, like remember Sancho at Chelsea, where just everything you do it goes wrong. You get away with it if you're a winger or an attacker. When you're a defender, you need helping out. And I was like, you know what? Just get him off. He's just constantly giving it away. And he stuck with him, and he cost Bayern Munich a goal. And then on the return leg, I think he cost him about 2. It was just,
I think it cost him the tie, to be honest.
Yeah, he did. I mean, they would have lost it anyway, probably, because City was so good last season, unfortunately. Although they do have 115 charges hanging over him. Yeah, but
they couldn't have won that tie with him playing.
No, he had one, and it's weird because, like you say, there's a player that they bought him for a reason. He got a move to Bayern Munich because of what he's capable of. Yeah. But I think he's a player that can struggle. Go through some of the chats there. I can see you sort of stacking them up, so I'll let you go through.
James Stewart says, Gary Pellistri, PS, love you, Joe. Glad you're back. Thank you very much. Love you too. We'll talk about Pellistri in a minute. Chiseled Planet says, good evening to my favourite duo on YouTube. Thank you very much. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me and Jay on the watch-alongs going forward.
We're together. There you go. We're gonna be doing more of this together. We've decided.
Yeah.
And so it's not because I've spat my dummy out because I'm sick of going to Old Trafford and watching Dross.
No.
We're going to start. It's not fair. Brother Joseph here, who's as much a United fan as I am, seldom goes to get to the games. He's always here. He's always doing the watch along. He's always making sure you guys have got the content you deserve. So I love making videos with Joe. So I'm gonna be doing more of these. We're still gonna get down to cheeky games at Old Trafford. Can't just walk away completely. We're both gonna be doing that. But no, on the watch along, you're gonna see more from us. And at half time, you're gonna hear from the likes of Ronaldo, I don't think Andy's in today until he's going to come in later on for full time. But we're going to have people like Ronaldo, like Abdullah, like Scotty, like Joe McGrath, like Andy Tate at half time as well. So we're going to mix up a little bit on watch alongs. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of that, because we appreciate all the support we've been getting. It's been fantastic.
Absolutely. Fergal McClements says United are missing a first choice player in each position except keeper, left wing and striker.
Can I just go through some of the chats? And I want to talk to you about the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Surely all of the criticism of Ten Hag is really unfair. I mean, I don't think all of it is unfair, but I do think a good chunk of it is when you think about, like you said, how many players we've got missing. And to be fair, if you're thinking of first team, who's actually missing? It's Shaw, Varane, Anthony, and Mounts. We don't know about Amrabat and Mount. So it's 4, which is not inconsequential. But when you consider the fact that United we've got 5 defenders on a trip to Bayern Munich. If any of Reguilon, Martinez, Lindelof or Dalot get injured, and when you consider the fact that Martinez has been taken off either the last 3 games or 3 of the last 4 games at like 60 minutes because there's clearly an issue there. If that has to happen, it is Johnny Evans coming on against Sané, Harry Kane and Gnabry. Like, that's the situation we're in. And you can't say, everyone gets injuries. You don't always get shitloads of injuries at the start of a season. And that foundation, that springboard that the first 10 games are so massive for the rest of the season. Like, it is particularly unlucky, isn't it?
It is unlucky, and it's come at the worst time. And there's never a good time to have a host of injuries. But when you've just lost to Brighton, you've got to go to the Allianz Arena. Yeah. You want to have your strongest team available. The only saving grace with those injuries for me, and the unavailability, because some of them aren't injuries, is the certain players who, if they get injured, I think we're done for.
Yes.
The goalkeeper, Martinez, Casemiro,
Bruno.
Marcus and Højlund. And Bruno, sorry.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 or 5, I can't remember. I think I've said 5 players there that if you lose one of them, you're in, or more than one, you're in all sorts of trouble. Yeah. So that's the one saving grace. Although it's never great to lose a player of the quality of Raphael Varane. Right. Or Mason Mount, I think, could have done bits for us tonight as well. So it's not ideal, but I just feel like it could be worse if I'm trying to be, a glass half full kind of guy.
I mean, you say you've been a glass half full, Jay, but what I'm hearing is whinge. Because, yes, we may only have 1 defender on the substitute bench, but look at this. 3 little goalkeepers on the bench.
That's just bizarre.
So, well, yeah, you say that. is there a rule against playing a goalkeeper outfield?
I don't think there is. I remember City did it with David James once, didn't
so
they?
what are you on about? That, we can put
It's
Tom
just-
Heaton at
I
centre
mean,
back if we have to.
If there's ever a sort of indictment of Glazenomics, there it is. We should have more players available because we should have bought more players. We should have bought another striker. We should have another proven striker as an option. Instead, if anything happens to Højlund, you're going to have to put Marcus down the middle, who's not a striker, or you're going to have to play Anthony Martial, who's had so many issues, I don't know where to start. So it's not great, is it? And also, I love the fact we give youngsters a chance, but you've got Gore, you've got Forson, you've got Hannibal on there for a reason.
Yeah.
Because and then you've got a 35-year-old Johnny Evans for a reason. This manager wanted Kim Min-jae. Sorry, bro, I didn't mean to interrupt you. He wanted Kim Min-jae and he wanted Harry Kane. And it was a non-starter on both of them for him because we couldn't get the money. So what he had to do was just get Højlund, or prefer Højlund. I know he didn't really get into that yesterday. He said, we always wanted him. And then get loanees in. Get the likes of Amrabat on loan, and obviously Reguilon is the one I will defend because I don't think anyone can expect to lose 2 left-backs, and plus he's not going to go and buy a left-back when you're basically saying, can someone just come in for 3 months?
Yeah. Do you know when you're a kid and you open the fridge on a Friday before your mum's done the weekly shop on a Saturday morning? That is our substitutes bench is what you see. Like there's a bit of milk, there's some mint sauce. There's like, what are they grapes?
That's like, in our house, that's Thursday. We do the shopping on a Friday.
Well,
yeah.
Is that grapes or is that old tomatoes that have gone
you're
purple?
like,
that is. We've opened the fridge before your mum's done the weekly shop, and that's who our subs are. You're like, I could probably make a meal out of. Maybe do something with just garnacho and Marshall on toast.
You make me laugh, kids.
What is that?
That's like,
substitute bench is insane.
You're like my kids on a Thursday, right? Because they do that. They open the fridge and they look around for ages, like they're going to suddenly spot a selection box.
Yeah.
And they'll go, and then they'll go in the treat cupboard.
Yeah.
They have a little treat cupboard, and they'll just be like looking, and all that's in the treat cupboard, all the sweets that no one likes, have been there from like.
Why have you got 3 goalkeepers in this treat cupboard? Because no one eats the goalkeepers. That's why.
What I mean? What are these sugar-free sweets that no one likes?
Yeah.
Other than you, Dad.
That's
what are these
that's
fig
us
rolls?
Having 3 keepers.
Yeah, that's what we've got. We've
It's
got
unbelievable.
a bench full of fig
I love
rolls.
it. Do you know when you open the fridge and like the third, you're like, I'm fucking starving, but there's no food in.
Yeah.
And on the third time round, you end up being like, could I make like a sauce with like, there's a half open bottle of like Greek yogurt, and if I was just crack an egg into that, what would happen? And you just just end up like
try
thinking
to make
of
a concoction.
Right, so some sardines. And you think probably some countries where they just have sardines with an egg on it.
That's what I mean.
Just an egg onto it.
Our Thursday night tea is usually random. It'll be like, beans, fish fingers, and then like, spaghetti.
Spaghetti and then shredded wheat.
Yeah, shredded wheat. It's just like all the stuff we want to get rid of before we do the weekly shop. Look, and I'm on the day after shopping, right? I am that dad who's like, where's all the food gone? Where's all the why's everyone eating everything?
Yeah.
Like, what? It's not there for that.
I was letting those nectarines ripen on the windowsill. Where have my nectarines gone? I have one treat in this house, and it's Uncle Jay's nectarines. And they've gone. Right, we've got some super chats.
Go on.
Fergal, no, read that one. John B says, I do hope he stays, but still, there's no denying that Tara Ten Hag would look good on a banner. So he's making his sort of political and emotional decisions based on.
Do you know what that's about?
Visual.
That Tara Ten Hag thing.
Is it the Tara Fergie?
Yeah. Is it Pete Molyneux with his bed sheet?
Yeah.
After 3 years of crap or whatever it was, and excuses, it's still 3 years of excuses, it's still crap. Tara Fergie. Fergie actually was in a similar situation to Ten Hag in his second season. I think in '89 we had the similar start to what we've had. This is our worst start in Premier League since the top division, since 1989.
Yeah.
And I think Fergie did like the thing of, he had a very good first season where we finished second, albeit a distant second to the Scousers, a ropey second season, and his third season the wheels were coming off, but then we won the FA Cup and he saved himself. So for me, I'd stick with Ten Hag. I really would. I was saying this to Scotty the other day. Unless anything amazingly bad happened, like we were 15th or whatever, I'd stick with the kid till the end of the season.
Yeah.
I would. I think this whole cycle needs to be broken, and I think bringing in a caretaker manager around Christmas is what we like to do. You always end up writing off the season.
I know.
You do. It's like we give up on this season. Under Ralph Rangnick, we gave up on the season. We're like, we'll bring him in, and then we were in all these cup competitions, and we just got knocked out of them all straight away. And it was like, that's the end of that. Like, and then we were out of Europe as well, out of the European Champions League places. It just seemed bizarre. I said I wanted to ask you about the goalkeeper situation because whilst we look at pictures of Harry Kane, who looks painfully uncomfortable when he's posing for a photo,
He's chatting to Owen Hargreaves now on this video. I bet, even though Hargreaves will be speaking English, he sat there going, shit, he's talking German, I know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because he's so nervous about speaking German. Do you remember that when he couldn't even argue with the ref because he didn't know German?
I love
Just
that.
shout at him in English,
Yeah.
Harry. Come on, have
On
some
point.
confidence.
Owen Hargreaves.
He's a great player, though, Kane.
Owen
Hargreaves.
Hargreaves played for, obviously, for Bayern Munich and Manchester United. Can you name anyone else who's done that?
Bayern Munich and Man United, Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Very good. Anyone else in your locker?
Uh,
Anyone more recently?
I should know it then, obviously.
Last season, didn't we get someone off him?
It's a bit, sir.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Are
they the only two?
No, there's another one as well. Webby compared Rasmus Højlund to him. I don't know if you were here. You weren't. You were on your rolls. Had legs the size of tree trunks.
Mark Hughes.
Yes, he played for. There is another one as well. There's more. I think there's about 6 in total, but I can only think of them. So get involved in the comments and let me know the ones that me and Joe have missed. Onana getting questioned already, my friend.
Yeah.
That for me is even more insane than the Marcus Rashford criticism. You've got a goalkeeper who's played 5 competitive games for Manchester United Football Club, 2 of which we've won, 1 of which was a clean sheet. I know that's not great numbers. I think he's faced 30 shots and he's conceded, is it 7 goals?
Yeah.
3,
more than that.
no, 8. 8 goals. Yeah. Is it? No, it's more. What is
More
it?
than that. 10.
10 goals, right? So he's not 10 goals, 30 shots. He's not amazing. But if you look at what he's bringing to the team, you can see not just playing out the back, also he has saved some shots where I didn't expect him to. Was it Ansu Fati at the end of the game against Brighton? That was a great save.
It was a fantastic save.
In terms of his start, it's been all right, but it's 5 games, man. That's what I don't get. It's 5 games.
But also, the thing I actually don't understand is, other than their 3rd goal on Saturday, I don't think there's been any ones where you go, he really should have done better there.
There was the question about Declan Rice's one, but I didn't get that.
5 yards in front of him. What's he meant to do? Know that the ball is going to change course in within less than a second of him being able to react, and he got a hand on it. But almost because he got a hand on it, people go, well, if you get a hand on it, you've got to save it. But the only reason he managed to get any hand on it is because his reactions were really good. Like that doesn't even make sense. I thought it was brilliant against Arsenal, and I thought the only reason that we were in the game going into the second half, let alone up to the 90th minute when I thought we'd won the game with Garnacho's goal, was because he stemmed the flow of their attacks by letting us retain possession in our own half. We couldn't physically get the ball to our strikers. We were incapable of doing it, and that's not his job. The rest of the team could not do their job because Arsenal were pressing us so well. So the only option there, you've got 2 options. One is you crumble and you let them have loads of the ball and loads of chances, or you pass the ball around your own half with the goalkeeper as the fulcrum for the entire play that we had. And we did that one and stopped them making almost any chances in that first half. Like, what more could he have done in that game? I just think it's ridiculous, and I think he's a very good keeper.
I feel like we're through the looking glass with some of the arguments that I've seen against him. I agree with everything you just said, by the way.
Yeah.
I genuinely do. But, I've seen, the Arsenal game where people saying, oh, it's because of him that we're not attacking more because we're too comfortable at the back, which is just the most ridiculous thing I've heard. And yet I've seen a few pundits saying that. And I've seen people saying that, I think it was Jamie Carragher saying that he was wrong to berate Maguire because Maguire was club captain, even though he wasn't club captain when he said that. And also, he's got form for berating his players. That's what he does, Onana. And he was like, oh, well, he should be more respectful. Well, why? Why should he be more respectful?
Yeah.
What is it about a goalkeeper shouting at a defender who's just dropped an absolute clanger that offends you so much? Because goalkeepers have been doing that since the dawn of time.
Yeah, that
isn't
nonsense new at all, is it?
It's just, I need to pander to the Scouse audience, so I'm going to come out with some drivel.
Yeah,
that's anti-United and anti their new signing. Alexi, our social media guy, pointed out on his socials, it's like last season Carragher went after Martinez, I think, as soon as we'd signed him because of his height. Yeah. And then this time Onana, after 20 minutes of a friendly, he's gone after him. And it's just the same old, isn't it? Let's just attack the big money United signing.
Yeah, and it was the pre-existing argument that sort of followed them to United both times. Like, before Martinez had even played a game, it was, he's not tall enough for the Premier League. 3 games in, Jamie Carragher, Martinez isn't tall enough for the Premier League. Yeah. The thing that came with Onana is very good with his feet, but his shot stopping is not great, and he's a bit of a wild card. He's a bit of a character. 3 games in, Onana needs to stop being such a character, and he's not good enough at saving. Like, that is literally the storylines we're seeing. It's so basic and so obvious. And the thing with Jamie Carragher, we both said it in the past, is I think he's decent. I think he's a good pundit, actually.
I don't mind Jamie.
And
Do you know what? I don't mind the whole thing. Believe it or not, Gary Neville annoys me more because Jamie Carragher is Mr. Scouse.
Yeah.
I'm an ex-Liverpool player. I love it. Mo Salah, you dancer and all that drivel. Where Gary Neville will be like, oh, Arsenal are so good to watch. Oh, City are amazing. Oh, and I'm like, oh, shut up. They're never going to love you, Gary. They're never going to like you. Funnily enough, I was watching the press conference with Onana. I think it was Flex, actually, who asked him a question about, do you think you're getting, like, people are praising you how well you're using your feet? Do you think people are forgetting or ignoring the element? I'm paraphrasing here about how good you are with, saving stuff and your other elements game. And he sort of, defended himself and said, I'm not just been brought here just because I can play with my feet. That's, that'd be a nonsense sort of thing, which is true. So
that save against Fatty the other day was unbelievable. He's 6 yards out, Fatty, and the ball is going right in the corner. And Onana tips. It was either against the post or just wide, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, he saved it. And it's one of those as well where the game's lost.
Yeah.
It's almost one of those games where people are giving up. But he wasn't, and he kept going, and rightly so, because you shouldn't give up when you're playing for Manchester United Football Club. And some of his teammates can actually take a lesson from him, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
He's definitely not lazy, is he?
No.
But according to Graham Souness, talking to Scouts pundits,
there we go.
Paul Labille Pogba is very lazy. I think he called him a lazy TWAT. Now, I would quite happily never talk about Paul Pogba again, not because I hate the kid, but just because we've spoke about him so many times over the last 7 years, whatever it's been. It's boring Mr. Tears. But I feel like we should mention it because it was doing the rounds this from last sort of half an hour. I think it was in The Athletic, and Graham Souness going after Pogba again. And it's just, it's so bizarre.
Why is he even talking about him?
I think he was asked why he's got an issue with him. So he's gone after him again. And I don't get it. I don't understand this almost obsession with him. Because I could get it if Pogba played for Liverpool. And it was like, that's your club and that's your old team. And you're like, but he doesn't. He plays for Juve. And, Souness was at Sampdoria, wasn't he? So it's not even like it's his old Italian club. And he's still going after him. Yeah. It's just, he was at Sampdoria, wasn't he? I don't think he went to Juve. I might be getting that wrong. Can someone check that?
I'll look.
But even if he was at Juve, I still think it's... no, it was at Sampdoria, wasn't he? I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it was.
It's just weird. He just keeps going. And listen, I criticised Paul Pogba when he was at United. I think he was a little bit underwhelming. I think for all his talent and ability, that we saw some great moments from him, but not enough of them, in my opinion. But I don't think it warrants the criticism and the obsession that Graham Souness seems to have for him. It's just weird.
Yeah. Not that this is just to change the subject slightly.
No,
for those who are watching TNT Sports, the current shot of Thomas Tuchel sort of leering over the TNT presenter like some kind of like melting surfboard of a man.
You're being harsh there though, because no disrespect to the girl.
Stand up straight.
She's about 5'1", and she's also got very close to him with the mic, which she's got to do. No. So he's got little choice other than to lean over. It does look like it's like me picking the kids up from school and saying, what's that?
Your kids?
Yeah, if you want. Since the court order. And then them showing me the latest projects or whatever it is they've got, like the picture they've drawn of me, lean over, let me have a look. It's that sort of vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Because she's tiny and I don't even think he's that tall, but he's a lot taller than her.
I'm kind of connecting these things possibly erroneously, but I'd like us to sort of speculate. Potentially speaking of Paul Pogba, but speaking of Paul Pogba's time at Manchester United, there was also basically the first sort of comprehensive interview with Ole Gunnar Solskjær since he left Manchester United.
From Andy Mitten, our mate.
Andy Mitten, of
doing
course.
Good stuff, as always.
Yes, via The Athletic. There was we'll go through a few of the quotes, but one of the quotes I wanted to start with, he was asked, do you feel like the players threw you under the bus, as some of your former teammates have stated? Solskjær said, no, not really. Some weren't as good as their own perception of themselves, which I think is the case at any club. I don't think that's a uniquely United thing. But this is one that I thought stood out. I won't name names, but I was very disappointed when a couple turned down the chance to be captain. I was also disappointed when others said they wouldn't play or train because they wanted to force their way out. There was stuff in the media after I left about how I treated players, which were complete lies, but I had a solid, honest relationship with most of them. But a couple turning down the chance to be captain, what do you make of that? I mean, we don't need to point fingers. You can you obviously feel free to name names and speculate if you want to, but that's a bizarre thing. And very worrying, isn't it, when you think of the characters in the dressing room?
Yeah, and I think that was an indication of where we ended up with Ollie in terms of not having leaders.
Yeah.
So captain Manchester United, for me, is one of the greatest honours in football. It really is. It doesn't get any better than that. And we've seen players who've captained the club for like 20 minutes. Was it Thingy? Didn't Charlie Savage captain us in pre-season for a bit?
Yeah, he did.
Which obviously, he's moved on now. We're just seeing images, by the way, of Manchester Platz in Munich, where the site near the Munich air disaster. I went there last time I was in Munich. I went to the game against Bayern under Moyes, and we travelled. Sorry to change the subject. It piques my interest. We travelled to where it's not the airport now. It's where the old airport used to be, right. And it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's so eerie and so sad as well. Obviously, it's a sad occasion, but to think that these young lads lost their lives, and the staff and the journalists and everything in this place where it just feels so empty, and quiet. And it's eerie. And a few lads I know have gone out there, have visited as well. And if you get the chance, in Munich, it's worth checking out, obviously, and paying your respects. Going back to your question, we had this issue with leaders, didn't we? Now, if you get offered the chance to be captain of Manchester United, I can't understand why anyone would say no. I can't understand that. I think captaining United for me is sort of the biggest honour you can be given in football. You can win like the World Cup or the European Cup, but to be given something in football, captaining United, we're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We're certainly the biggest club in England. It doesn't get any better than that. And if you sign for United and then you get given that armband, you should be snapping the manager's hand off for it.
Do you know what? And like you said, the standard should be that you just, obviously you're happy to receive that. But it does make me feel slightly for Harry Maguire, because the suggestion there is he wasn't even the first choice.
No.
He sort of had to take it because, a couple of other players turned it down, which I'm not saying it would have made him a success at United. I don't think it would. But he had a couple of good seasons for United under Solskjær, and he would have had a lot less pressure on him if he wasn't captain. The 80 million was enough.
Yeah.
That probably would have been enough to do for him anyway. But if he shouldn't have even been the captain, and he's had to basically not step in, because I'm sure he was happy to take it, but when you know that there are players who were turning it down, that is feel a bit for him.
It's a shame. There's an alternate universe, right, where Harry Maguire doesn't get injured in his third season or whatever it was, his second season. We win the Europa League.
Yeah.
He lifts the trophy as captain. Ollie gets to the end of last season and then probably gets sacked because he's just bought himself a bit extra time.
Yeah.
We don't have to go through the Ralph Rangnick nonsense. It was great box office and press conferences, but I'm sorry, it was never a Manchester United manager.
Yeah.
And then at least Ollie won something while he was here.
Yeah.
And Harry Maguire's won something as captain without being given it like he was in the Carabao. But that didn't happen. So I do feel a little bit sorry for Ollie. I do feel like that interview, it kind of underlines the feeling I had with him already that there were some fantastic moments. He talks about the night in Paris, of course, and filming the players and beating City at the Etihad and things like that. There were some, and 29 unbeaten away from home, which we'd say that, wouldn't we? Now I think the most we've had unbeaten away from home under Eric's been about 4 games.
Yeah.
In terms of a run. So there was a lot of good moments, but then you look at it and you go, he probably wasn't tough enough. And there was a bit in there where he spoke about the 4-1, his final game against Watford, and he said at half time to the players, this is going to probably be my last game as manager. Now, if that doesn't motivate you, if that doesn't make you go, right, do you know what, we're going to go out there for this guy who's had our back, who came in after Jose, which was a car crash just before Jose left, who put his arm around us, who backed us, who bought some of us, then we're going to go out there and we're going to back him and show him and give our all. And what did we do? We went out there and Harry Maguire got sent off for 2 ridiculously stupid yellows. We lost 4-1.
Sort of an almost kind of the imagery of that.
Yeah.
Maguire, the person who's came in, who ended up being the sort of the symbol of the downfall of Solskjær in the end. He stuck with him. The performances weren't there. We kept losing. And then last day, he said, if we don't win this, I'm sacked.
It's at half time in that game, he said.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
He said, look,
and then he goes out
I think I'll go. And he was right. Yeah. And then you saw it. I'm not being funny, right? The one of the most infuriating images, a picture, that old adage, a picture tells 1,000 words.
Yeah.
The picture of Harry Maguire, I should put it the right way around. Ole Gunnar Solskjær shaking Harry Maguire's hand as he left the pitch at Vicarage Road is burned into my memory. because I think that summed up a lot of things. One, how stupid Harry Maguire can be. And I know it's easy to hate on him. I'm not hating on him. But that was so thick to get those 2 yellows the way he did. You get a yellow, you know what you're going to do. I'm on a yellow card. I've got to be careful. You don't lunge in a minute later like he did and get a second yellow. It cost your manager his job. But then Ollie's shaking his hand as he left the pitch. Like, you've not done out wrong.
It's not that one, is it?
No, that's at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I thought
He should have been raging with him.
Yeah.
Like, just ignore him. You don't have to acknowledge him. But he's shaking his hand like, never mind, mate. And I think that was part of the problem.
Yeah.
That he was just too nice in the end. I think you might have had it there, was it?
You can just see a fragment of it there. There you go.
It's just, come on,
that
man.
shot there.
Yeah, can we give Joey single? Yeah, he's the shaking hand. That's just like before. It was more like a, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But come on, man.
Yeah.
It was just Ollie, and you saw it. The interview he gave when he left, getting emotional and crying. And listen, you might not rate Ole Gunnar Solskjær as a manager. You might not have enjoyed his time as when he was in charge, and it didn't work out. And there were some lows. Losing at home to the Scouts is one of the worst moments I've had as a United fan. But let's not rewrite history.
Since, though. Hey,
7-0.
See, I look on the bright side. You say 7-0 was bad. I say it made Ollie's 5-0 look slightly better.
Exactly. But there was a time when Ollie was manager where I was having a better laugh as a United fan than I've had since Fergie left.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
Yeah,
we were winning games when we kept going behind and kept coming back.
That away record.
The initial time when he came in as caretaker.
Unbeaten for a full season away from home.
Like, that's unreal. Beating City. We take that for, we did it a few times under Ollie now. We can't get near him. No. Well, not at the Etihad anyway. I know we did beat him at Old Trafford last season. But we beat him, was it 3 times at the Etihad, I think? Or 3 times, I can't remember. I think it was twice at the Etihad or whatever, and at Old Trafford as well. Obviously, the late Scott McTominay goal just before lockdown. I'm not going to rewrite history and say Ollie was perfect. He wasn't, and I think he lost the dressing room in terms of the effort and everything with the players. It probably had to go, but I'm not having it that he was a complete disaster, and I certainly won't have any slander because whether you like Ole Gunnar Solskjær as a manager or not, as a player, he is a bona fide legend. There's no disputing that.
Absolutely. Even if he hadn't scored the win of the Champions League final, it'd still be a United legend.
Yeah, and he did score the win of the Champions League final. So there you go.
Benjamin Matthias says, I've drank the Kool-Aid, 2-1 United.
Love that.
You're a little bit drank the Kool-Aid tonight, aren't you? Don't give me a score prediction just yet, but talk to me about how you see this game going. What do you expect to see from United? The ebb and flow of a night's work.
Can I give you 2 alternatives that I can see?
Yes.
Like, if it goes the way I hope it goes, we're going to soak up pressure.
Soak it up.
We're going to hit him on the break, and the likes of Palestri and Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Højlund are going to hurt them and score, and then we're going to win the game. Yeah? My only worry is we are capable of soaking up pressure, conceding and capitulating.
Yeah.
That is the worry I have. Now, I actually think it's going to be the former. I think we'll win.
Go on.
I do. Yeah?
Love it.
And, as Webby always says, you can put that on camera. I think we'll win. But I am aware of the fact that I'm not the brightest.
No, I've always said
honest,
that. We agree on that because I've always said that.
Low in, as Elaine Benny says, he's a slow-witted bald man.
Yeah.
When talking about George Costanza, I think that sums me up.
Well, yeah, sort of very smooth brain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a cue ball, completely like
the size of a cue ball.
No ridges, no sort of texture, no kind of surface area. It's just a circle. It's amazing. It's 2D.
Yeah. Why does Eric Ten Hag look like he's just watching a jazz band?
He looks very cool, actually. I like that top that he wears. Do you know the one with the piping around the neck?
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. You were saying what?
You love a good piping around your neck, you don't you?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't even know what it means.
I don't know if it means as if it's sexual or if it's a sort of physical punishment type vibe.
I don't know. It's just because Mac is not here. I felt like I had to fill the void of what he always says to you.
You love filling your void. so you're too cool to play that game.
Yeah. So it could go either way. But as I said, I'm not the brightest spark. But I do think we can do something. It would be very Man United to do that, to get beat off Arsenal and Spurs and Brighton, and then go to one of the toughest stadiums in the world with a team missing 4 key players and a bench that would make the under-23s blush, and win.
Yeah. El Chundo says, never mind 5 defenders, 3 keepers on the bench here. We spoke about that now. Ian McIver says, am I crazy? But I wish we still had Fred today.
Not the most ridiculous statement ever.
Now we are entering this season with Scott McTominay still at the club, right?
Yeah.
The main reason I could see for selling Fred for cheap was because we could get more for McTominay, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think there was a time when it looked like McTominay was going to go, and apparently there was an offer from West Ham and an offer from Fenerbahce late door. But I do feel like there was a correlation between Fred going and then even being able to pay the loan fee for Amrabat. I don't think you can have them both. I think because of the absolute clowns that are in charge of this football club with the Glazers, where every penny has to be accounted for, and we can't spend an extra few million or whatever without having brought in a few million beforehand. I think he had to sell Fred if he wanted Amrabat, and he wanted Amrabat. In an ideal world, we would have kept Fred, and we'd have him now, for me, starting this game over Eriksen.
Yeah, me too. Brian and Elaine, I love it when you see a group account, a couple team account.
Yeah, I couldn't do that, mate.
Why?
Because I don't want Varney posting something
on your
from
behalf.
Jay and Varney, whatever.
Why?
On my bit, and
That
people
works.
going, "Oh, is that her?" But I'd get annoyed with more.
Yeah. We change to Jay's camera.
If it was a banger of a tweet or a post,
or
a meme where it's like, "Yeah, I've done it, smashed it," and it comes from our joint account, and she starts getting credit, I'd hate that.
Yeah.
So
Sad to hear that, Jay.
I'm very
bitter.
I am bitter.
Selfish.
I'm a bitter.
Narrow-minded.
Bitter. We've established on this Watchalong already. I'm a bitter, selfish, slow-witted bald man.
Yeah.
That's my.
What's that phrase that we
epitaph.
like that they used to use in medieval times a lot when they talk about people?
Feeble-minded.
Feeble-minded. That's
feeble-minded. It's like, what's wrong with him? He's feeble-minded.
Just don't even start with him. He's feeble-minded. Brian and Elaine, thank you, who's been on for 32 months as well, thank you, says, it's so good to see Jay and Joe on again. It's the first video we've been on together in quite a while, this, isn't it? With me being
You've been
away.
on your old, haven't you?
Well, I've been doing some Euro scouting.
Yeah?
Yes. Malaga and Seville. I know everything there is to know. I assumed United would play Sevilla at some point this season.
I hope not, because we'll lose and we'll get knocked out of whatever competition. Alexa, will you bring us some Pepsi Max Cherry out of the fridge, please?
You know what I mean? This is Jay.
Thank
he
you.
is essentially a sort of, childlike dictator, aren't you? Some kind of king.
Childlike dictator, you make me say.
I want a Pepsi and I want it
right,
now.
I asked politely, and only because Alexi was going into the room where the fridge is.
If there's no
I
Pepsi,
didn't dictate.
I'm going to go home. Real Madrid have beaten Union Berlin, by the way, in the early game. James Winwood says, we should have used the £47 million for Onana to buy a midfielder. Surely you guys can admit his performances have not been good enough. Well, we've spoken about his performances.
I can completely disagree with that.
I'd love you to.
No, we shouldn't have not got a goalkeeper.
Yeah, and also, unfortunately, James, we've bought 2 midfielders, neither of which are fit. You can't ignore the fact that we needed a new goalkeeper and buy 3 midfielders. It's
if you wanted to get more money,
and Amrabat's injured.
If you wanted more money, right, and you're not happy with where we spent money, the obvious one for me, if you had to make a choice, would have been not to buy Mason Mount, not to buy Onana.
Yeah.
Onana was essential.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry, I'm not having this revisionism with David De Gea, because we was here, right, last season for the Sevilla game, where for the first time in over 40 years of watching Manchester United, I laughed at us conceding a goal because it was comical, right? And he was at fault for 3 goals that game. The Brentford game, he came out after the game, fair play to the kid, he held his hands up, he was at fault. The West Ham game, he was at fault. The Derby in the final, the FA Cup final, as well, Manchester City go on the route to winning the treble, he was at fault. Yeah. Now, I like David De Gea, but it was time for him to go. And this idea that it wasn't, it's just madness. People are just rewriting history, and it's the same people half the time that were slagging him off when he was here, saying he's got to go. Yeah. I know before people say 16 clean sheets and Golden Glove and all that. Yes, he did, but a lot of that was down to the fact he had a very good defence in front of him. Yeah. Some of those games, you look at like Forest away and games like that, he didn't even have to make a save. Other games he did, and he did very well, but he had to go, man. You can't just stick with him because of what he did in 2018.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Jordan Amor says Hoyland winner and bookings for everyone. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see a gritty, nasty, sort of knocking a few lumps out of the Bayern players' performance from United tonight. None of this being nice. I want to see us get stuck in. Gio Franco says, when will we finally see Amrabat? Greetings from Southern California boys. 4-2 Bayern, I see. But I would love to be 10,000% wrong.
10,000%.
When will we see Amrabat?
I don't know. He's been training on his own, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So,
I reckon Palace at the earliest, maybe next weekend.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him for Burnley because he's been training on his own. He's got to train with his teammates, and he ain't going to train with his teammates anytime soon. So, yeah, I think maybe the second Palace game.
Yeah. Joshua Bowater says, feel like we need a group prayer that we get no injuries tonight. Swear we've had someone pick up basically every game this season. It has been the case, hasn't it? Almost every game we've lost a player, or in Luke Shaw's case, even sort of training injuries. Wan-Bissaka came on, barely even played the other day, and he's out for 3 months. The other thing I don't understand with United at the minute, how come every time a player gets an injury, they get the worst version possible of that injury? Like Eriksen got an injury that sometimes is 4 weeks, sometimes is 3 months. He's out for 3 months. Like Wan-Bissaka, a hamstring injury, the most really a hamstring injury can be is 3 months. And that's how long he's expected. It's like they're all getting like grade 3 or whatever tears of these. It's like, why can't we just start like Martial the same? He got injured before the FA Cup final and was out until the start of September. Like he's pulled his calf or his hamstring or whatever. Like, why is no one, sometimes you just get, his hamstring injury, a couple of weeks. Just a light injury on his hamstring, a couple of weeks. We're not getting that. We're getting Malacia 3 months, Luke Shaw 3 months, Wan-Bissaka 3 months, Eriksen 3 months, Martial 3 months. What the fuck?
I saw a headline the other day, I think yesterday or whatever, that made me laugh, and it was like, Pep Guardiola's issues mount as Grealish out for another week. And I just thought, what?
Yeah.
What are you on about? You know what I mean? Like, he's unbeaten in the league. Obviously just winning the Champions League. Yeah. And he's got a whole host of world-class players to choose from. Meanwhile, we're drafting in left-backs on loan as emergency cover. We're losing right-backs at a rate of knots. Our new signings aren't even fit, and our manager's getting booed for substitutions he's got to make, because if he doesn't make them, we're going to have no striker. It's just unreal. What are you on about? Come on, let's have a little bit of perspective.
Oka in the comments says, could it be a medical staff problem? The only way I could see that is maybe they could, increase the frequency of injuries if we're not monitoring things well. But they can't make Wan-Bissaka's hamstring tear take 3 months unless they're like, we're just going to cut it open, see the extent of the thing. Oh, I've dropped my KFC in his thigh. I've literally just dropped my entire meal into his hamstring. Just sew it up and pretend that. We're not doing that. They're not like Dr. Nick from The Simpsons.
No,
just literally not hurting their clients.
I love. Do you know what I love about it as well? Like, when you get these injuries, like conspiracy theories start, and people saying, "Oh, it's the pitch at Carrington. It's the guy we've got from Arsenal. Yeah. He's a double agent. Yeah. He's deliberately
the road on the way into Old Trafford is too bumpy, and it's making people jar their backs." That's my little conspiracy that I've just come up with.
I just realised as well, because we did a little thing for TNT, didn't you, before?
Big time.
They sent us a link. Did we get that? Did we know that? Yeah, sound.
All sorted. Yeah. We've got 5 minutes.
Sorry, I've just realised then, sorry.
Give me your score predictions in the comments. I want your scoreline and your scorers. So not just, who's going to score? Right, get them in the comments. Ronaldo, first of all, shout me yours. Who's back there? He's going to be on at half-time. Ronaldo, score prediction, please.
2-2.
2-2. Goal scorers for United, please.
I'm going
Højlund and Bruno Fernandes. 2-2 from Ronaldo. Get your thoughts in the comments. Football Shorts simply says yes. Uzair says 2-1 United. Rashford redemption. Dan Kaiser 2-1. Rasmus. Christopher Dunn 1-0. Højlund. Unfortunately, Carl Babst says 3-0 for Bayern. Elite Services, which I will be getting in contact with you afterwards, says 3-0 Bayern as well. Lucas Swain, a swashbuckling 3-1 to Manchester United. Come on, Jay. Score prediction time. 3 minutes till kickoff. We've got the kids on the pitch shaking the big parachute with the Champions League ball on it.
Can we have a little bit of sound, please?
What is the scoreline going to be? You've been talking a big game. Now it's time to put your mouth where your mouth is.
This is the bit you're going to see on Twitter later. When we get battered.
Sauce me up, big boy.
I'll go 3-1 United.
Come on! And the fucking rest! 5-1. No. Sorry. I think 1-1. I've something bust in there. Then something ripped. A pipe burst. Someone says a scrappy 3-3 draw. It's like playing against Barcelona in '99. That. Nice. Anwar says Rashford. Don't know what that means. It feels like it's some sort of slander to Rashford, but it doesn't really make sense, so it can't hurt his feelings because it means nothing. Akoyo Jude says 1-3 Rashford Rasmus.
Rashford Rasmus.
When needs
Rasmus.
Rasmus. Yeah. Adam Booth says, I've missed the Champions League anthem.
Rasmus.
I don't know if you mean you missed it because you haven't heard it in a while, or you've just missed this one, but you can't have because it's still happening now. Let's just soak it in for a second, Jay. Beautiful.
We're only going to hear that another 5 times this season.
If we're lucky. Has a team ever been kicked out because they lost 10-0 in a game? Is that the thing? Do you know, like, if you win the World Cup 5 times, you get to keep it? Yeah. Or 3 times, whatever it is. If you lose a game, your first game 10-0, you just go straight to the Europa Conference.
Straight into the cup, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, potentially. I don't know. It might be a new rule they've just made.
Come on.
Because aren't they changing the Champions League next season? Is it like... one big league.
Yeah,
you play 8 teams or something stupid.
It's a full league of 32 teams.
Right.
But you play 8 games.
Yeah.
But instead of it being in a group stage, it just goes towards the league.
What?
So if you get to play easier teams, you're gonna lose more. Like,
I mean, I don't. Why it makes me laugh as well because I feel like we campaigned, we fought, we protested against the Super League. And they kind of made the Champions League a bit like it.
Why are they getting rid of the group stages? The group stages are beautiful.
Everyone loves a nice little random trip, don't they, as well? A nice little random trip or a nice little game against a team you don't really know much about, or there's a little bit of intrigue. It's like, oh, do you remember when he used to play for Liverpool? I hated him, and now he's a real sausage dad or whatever. Yeah. There's a little bit of that in there.
Real sausage dad. Alice says, has the game started? No, it's not 8 o'clock yet. I'll tell you what I do like about football. British football, or European.
I do not learn about English.
No,
it's the language I speak. No, so what I like about it's easy for me.
Soccer
ball.
Whenever you watch an American sport, it says like on the app or on the website or on the TV, kick off or first whatever at like 8 p.m. And it's also like 8 minutes past. Yeah, it's shit. Right. Like you're turning like, why is this 10 minutes late or 5 minutes late? Football, it kicks off the minute it's meant to every time.
I love that. It's like non-league or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, why have we not kicked off? Oh, the ref's just got a parking ticket. He's just got to move his car.
But every American sport's like that. You watch a basketball game, playoff starts at 1 a.m. and you get tuned at 1 a.m. and the show hasn't even started yet. Like, what the fuck is this? No build-up, just straight to ball up in the air.
Come on, you.
Right, come on!
Come on, you.
Big moment, this. Huge chance. What do you think of this, right? Bayern Munich, not necessarily flying at the minute. I know they've won most of their games, but they haven't been at their sort of usual best.
They drew with Leverkusen, didn't they? They drew Leverkusen.
You can't say any better myself, Jay. They did.
And we beat Leverkusen under David Moyes 5-0 at Old Trafford. So we'll beat these.
Yeah, I love that. I've lost it. I'm so excited.
Because we beat Leverkusen 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Then that means, I think they're having a minute's silence here.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, if you look at the Bundesliga table, you'll notice something quite beautiful. Bayern are second, and they've only dropped points in one game. But there's been some scrappy goals, some late wins, and obviously they've drawn their last game. Leverkusen at the top of the league. They're still a good team, though, aren't they?
Bayern Munich?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're decent.
Where do you think they'd finish if they played in the Premier League every year?
I think they'd be in and around top 4. But the thing is, if they played in the Premier League, they wouldn't be Bayern Munich. Because what makes them Bayern Munich right now, a big part of their MO, is they get the pick of the best players in Germany that want to stay in Germany.
That's true.
So they go, oh, who's the kid at Leipzig who's tearing it up? If he's going to stay in Germany, we'll have him. Yeah. Who's at Dortmund or whoever. I know, obviously, Jude Bellingham wanted to go to Madrid. But usually, Bayern Munich just hoover up, don't they?
They'll nick him. They'll get a Hummels. Yeah. Have him for a few years, have his best years, and then just give him back to Dortmund. Yeah,
or Lewandowski or whoever. Like they'll do that. Whereas if they were in the Premier League, they wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be going, who's Arsenal's best player, who's Spurs' best player, who's City's best player, who's United's best player, let's all have them. No. That wouldn't be happening, so it'd be difficult. But if you're going to talk about this team now in the Premier League, I think it's fighting for top 4.
Yeah.
I don't think it's no, I don't. This team doesn't beat City.
No.
So in a title race, and I take no pleasure in saying that. I don't even know if this team, I don't know, it probably beats Liverpool, but
go on, lad.
but it doesn't beat Manchester
We
United.
need a good start. And I say this before every big game, but it is crucial, especially the way United have been playing this season. If we get 3 chances tonight, we need to score 2 goals. If we don't, we'll lose. If we watch United miss 2 chances in this game, that's it.
Yeah.
These games are that close. I think we have to score our first chance, really, with the confidence that we're lacking at the minute.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to have a lot of chances, and when we get one, we've got to score. Already I'm seeing United pressing, Eriksen and Bruno slightly further forward than Casemiro. Eriksen kind of leaving that number 6 role. There's a little gap in the middle. You see Harry Kane occupying that. I'm just worried about that midfield. I'm just going to keep my eye on that. Obviously, we'll hear from Ronaldo at half-time. I know he loves his tactics.
Ronaldo loves his tactics, doesn't he? And his knowledge.
I feel nervous now. I had a real sort of rush of energy before kick-off before. I don't know if you noticed when I was screaming that.
Yeah.
Now
I needed that.
I just feel a bit sicky now. I've done a big sick in my mouth. Right, come on. And also, the other thing that Bayern have got that they wouldn't have if they played in England, but they do have, and we're facing it, is this sort of imperious kind of, we are this all-powerful team. We are used to winning 40 games a season or whatever in all competitions. Like, they're so used to winning. Do you know, you can see like newly promoted teams have those good years because they just carry on that winning momentum.
Yeah.
They've always got maximum momentum, maximum confidence, haven't they? Because undoubtedly they've just won the Bundesliga. You never face a sort of low on confidence Bayern Munich.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword as well for Bayern Munich, because when you're dominating your league the way they usually do, sometimes it can be hard to make that step up if you get a big team in Europe, because you're sort of just steamrolling everyone week in, week out.
Yeah.
That I know there are some decent teams. Is he offside there?
I don't know, but Sané's...
Is that a corner?
It's a corner, but if the ball's better there, it's their own goal.
Little warning there, 2 minutes in.
What's going on there? Just playing off the man there. It's Lima with the ball across goal, and his first touch from Sané is not great actually. And Martinez doesn't know this, but he would have been better leaving that. But he obviously
did.
You can't leave it.
To be fair, I'd expect him to just play it safe and block it. I think it came off his sort of standing leg, didn't it?
Corner for Bayern, and I think it's straight out for a goal kick. It's Goretzka at the near post.
The thing is, they are going to come out. That's a given. I expect that. Even though I'm being deluded and think we can win, I still expect us to have to soak up pressure for that to happen. You almost forget he spent time at Bayern tonight, don't you? I do. It's like, was he like the B team manager or something?
Bayern 2.
Yeah, back in the day. He's done his apprenticeship, and old Eric.
Yeah. Strange, isn't it? Because he's quite inexperienced, obviously, in terms of his years management, but he's not a young man.
He's 52, isn't he? Isn't he older than Poch?
I think he is, yeah. I think he's almost as old or as old as Pep, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's in the same ballpark, but he's not been managing as long as he. So
Pep sort of came in at the top, didn't he? One year at Barca B and then Barcelona. Yeah. Managing that team, it's like you're just starting at the very top, basically, aren't you?
Yeah. Whereas Ten Hag sort of
he's done the Fergie bit of the Fergie route. Yeah. You know what I mean? The East Stirlingshire route of football management.
That's your Utrecht.
Yes.
What's his Aberdeen Ajax? Not quite the same, is it?
No.
Go on then. Eriksen into the box here. Plays it across. Goal! Got it! Oh!
What? How did we not score?
Is that a penalty?
What happened there?
How has Pellistri not scored there? What's happened there?
That looked like an absolute sitter. Eriksen here plays. Oh, it goes off his foot.
It's a great tackle.
It's a tackle and a half. That is it. Alphonso Davies.
Eriksen's got to score as well.
Oh, Eriksen.
That's what I'm on about. That's my
you have to take those chances, man. That is it.
That is my biggest worry there.
That is an absolute.
2 chances there, both of which you would consider great chances for United. One is Pellistri. I mean, you can give Davies the credit, and he deserves a lot of credit, but Pellistri's just not quick enough there.
No.
You can't let the man behind you get the ball in front of you. And I'd like to see it again to see if he goes through Pellistri's leg to get it. But in my opinion, on that first viewing, that was a phenomenal tackle. But if you're in front of your man, you've got to be getting to that. Yeah. And then Eriksen has a free shot 6 yards out and puts it straight at the goalkeeper.
That's gone out. That's a throw-in. This is what I mean. We will get a chance against this team. You've got to take them, though. We have to you have to take chances.
I'll put that down as one chance because you couldn't have scored them both.
No.
But that's one big chance missed now.
I mean,
we can't
if you're
afford to miss
be positive, we've got a good chance against them.
Yeah, it was a
we
beautiful
can get
ball
through,
from Eriksen.
and it was relatively easy as well how we got through then.
It was brilliant from Eriksen.
He's unlucky as well, Push. He's not played a lot of football.
No,
Davies makes a good challenge. It's one of those where if he I don't know, if he goes to the ball, then he's not going to have the chance he's got. He's waiting for it to come to him, or he's trying to run onto it. And then Davies just whips in. We've just got to make the most of these opportunities. We've got another corner here now.
It's an unbelievable.
Let's have a decent corner as well, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. Come on. That'll make them a little bit nervous, that Bayern.
That is a decent
corner. Make them
corner.
realise we can do a bit.
Oh, I said that. What's he seen there?
I feel like if they wanted to, a referee could give a free kick to the defending team of a corner, every corner if they wanted. I mean, that is a foul.
Martinez pushing someone in the head is
probably a foul.
Technically a foul.
Okay.
If we're going to be fussy, if we're going to be pedantic about the rules, do you know what I mean? Go on, he's offered it. Oh, he got away with that one.
He did.
Well done.
Davies trying to run through everyone there, and he got lucky to get past one. It's another tackle from behind there.
I don't know. I feel like Marcus might have stood on the ball there and fell over.
There you go, Bruno. United pressing well though. We had that good chance there.
Yeah.
We've seen Davies almost lose the ball to Pellistri and then get tackled by Casemiro.
So much better having a right winger who's an actual right winger.
I know. Who's offering space. Like,
do you know what I mean?
If that was against Brighton, there would have been no one there to pass that ball to.
Yeah. We've just got to make sure we track back as well here, lads.
Yeah, because Sané again is running in behind. Don't put your hand up. Just fucking track him back. Sané. What? Oh, it was offside, and they've just waited until we've all had to track back 25 yards to give it. To be fair, it's quite tight, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can understand why he's not giving that immediately.
It's one of those where you'd be moaning, wouldn't you, if it's the way around and he gives it straight away. Like, why not let it run and then see if it's offside like you meant to?
Because if Sané scores from that
Is it the rule that if it's obvious, you just give it straight away, and if it's not, you wait?
Yeah, I think so. Or they wait because if they score straight away, it'll be reviewed by VAR. But if they don't score straight away, that's when they put the flag up.
Okay.
Because it's like, I'm going to go with what I thought, because they're allowed to make a mistake if it's not a goal.
Go on, Bruno.
Nice. Come on. That's good. Dallo and Casemiro and Bruno with a little interplay there.
So just keep hold of the ball.
Yeah. Just have a minute on the ball, get a touch. Too many times in these Champions League games, Atletico Madrid away from home last season was a perfect example, where we just looked scared to have the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know when you got something you're nervous about, like a driving test, and everything's like...
Keep going, son.
Just acting really... Everything's really quick and rushed because you're nervous.
Yeah, this is our third corner, this, you know.
Yeah. It's a good start from United.
And that's the real quiz.
How many times do we say that?
Yeah.
Tottenham.
Brighton. It's a good start.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even Arsenal, we took the lead.
Yeah.
It's all right, though. This is what you want to see from United. We're up for it.
Yeah.
Which is what you wanted.
Yeah. Casemiro's tag's hanging out. Someone can just turn it over. Oh, no, it's not. Corner to United.
I don't like these short corners if that's what we're doing.
I don't think... Oh,
Marcus is stood right near. Is it Eriksen who's taking it?
Yeah.
Right, so we're going for this short corner routine here. Let's see where this ball ends up.
Back to Eriksen. Got a decent angle there. Back post.
It's not bad. Keeper's punched it clear.
Bruno, is that...
So
away there, presumably that's gone out. Yeah, keeper comes out and punches it away. BT or TNT... Just generally, just too much. I when I'm watching football, I just want the wide shot the whole time. Unless someone scored a goal and you want to see the celebration, I get sick of this showing the manager, showing the crowd, showing the keeper.
I don't know if it's there is that in there. Then something will be happening whilst you've got a close up of the keeper acknowledging the pass he's just made.
They have to have you have to have drama and you have to show the storyline of the game. I get a bit of that, but just all the time, I'd prefer just this every time.
Yeah.
Onana there, just allowing a bit of pressure and playing the ball out. I think that's an underrated part of his.
It's just, you know what, I think you were saying it the other day, there's no stat for confidence in your goalkeeper.
Yeah.
For how that can relax you as a defender or whatever.
I know.
And at times last season, with De Gea, we looked nervous. Yeah. Your defenders look nervous.
A lot of they don't want to pass it to him. And, I know we won the game against Liverpool at home, But that game, we tried playing it out from the back against Brentford and Brighton.
He gave up that, didn't he, for Liverpool.
And then against Liverpool, we just kicked it along every time.
He just said, we've got to go to try something different here.
Yeah, and that's what we had to do to win games, but that's not what the top teams do anymore, is it?
No. And also, whilst I'm, I don't mind counter-attack or whatever, I don't want to see Manchester United just being hoof it.
Yeah, it wasn't calculated.
No.
It was, this is the only thing that won't cost us chances.
Yeah. We've got to be better than that, especially at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Decent start there from United. 10 minutes gone. Bayern had one little chance or half chance. Sané got played through, but his first touch took him away. But United had two massive
go on,
chances.
Marcus, get on your toes there, lad.
As part of that one.
That's our ball. That'll do that.
Right now, here we go. What we got? Lovely.
Right idea that as well. He's unlucky.
Go on then.
Who's
that? Is it Davies? It's a right battle on that side already, isn't it?
I think he got Davies. He just fouled him. Then he just pulled him back there.
Good defender by Davies because he just sort of runs across Pellistri, then slows down and allows him to foul him.
More out of frustration probably there, just pulling him out. He's never going to get away with that one.
No.
Bless him.
But good play through the centre of the pitch there from United. Ericsson and Casemiro just knocking it and finding a man.
Early doors. God, I don't like seeing any defender on the floor. Hopefully he's okay. Is it Reguilon?
Laid flat on his back here.
Because if he's out, it's
me. Oh, shit, I need to... Right.
Yeah.
Has someone got my Man United kit? Because I'm on if he's not fit. I didn't tell you about that, did I?
Yeah, that's all you need. Emergency loanee. He's bro.
Sané's just... I don't even know.
He didn't make an attempt to get the ball, just jumps into him and it's a foul.
Yeah. Weird that'd hurt that, wouldn't it? A full-grown man running into your head.
Did that on purpose, well, didn't it? Fucking blue.
Yeah.
Aye.
Love all that.
Do you know what I mean?
Weird that, wasn't it? Just ran into it. Remember that one? I can't remember who it was against. It was Chelsea were playing against it. I can't remember who it was. It was a team in a lower division in the FA Cup, and David Luiz just ran into that player's head, and like shoulder checked his face, and it was like, literally like could have broken his jaw.
Oh, he's unlucky there, you know.
That's a good turn there from Sané. Probably a good foul actually. That.
Yeah, a foul up there. We don't do enough for that.
We need to get better at that. Who was that? Reguilon, or was it Bruno?
I'm not sure, but it was deep in there.
Yeah, Reguilon. It's a good foul.
Maybe a bit of afters there.
Well done. Good foul from him there because he's not got a book in. He stopped a potential counter attack. Yeah, we need to get better. That's
at that. Usually where we just let him run and it turns into something horrible.
Yeah, it does.
See that? Just
decent start.
Go on, Marcus.
It's interesting as well this game, isn't it? Because technically, mathematically, we don't need to win this. You know, obviously you don't want to lose any games, but we could lose this game and still comfortably go through the
This
group.
is the game that you can almost, not write off, but you go, okay,
anything
Munich away, yeah.
However...
Like Copenhagen, you can win, you could beat Copenhagen and Galatasaray at home and away.
Yeah.
And even just draw with Munich and still go through as second place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we do that. But
no. But usually, 9 times out of 10, if you get 10 points, you're through.
Yeah.
However, in the light of the current situation at Man United, that would be 4 losses in our last 5 games. It's a weirdly not must win, but it's got a bit more on it than it should have. This, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, does that worry you?
A little bit. I feel like I know how I feel as a fan, and I'm not overly panicking.
No.
My worry, my concern is that the board don't start panicking.
Yeah.
I think, what we need here is to sack the manager and get another caretaker in, and we just start all over again. Because every single player that we've bought as well is a proper Ten Hag signing. Like, there's not many where you go, he didn't want him, or he don't know who that player is. They're pretty much all Ten Hag signings.
Yeah, they are. Reguilon
Upamecano,
using his body brilliantly there. He sort of tricked Upamecano into fouling him. Yeah, I don't even think there was much in it, but Reguilon challenged Upamecano for pace, and then just went across.
That is a foul. I don't know what he's moaning about there, Upamecano. Blatant foul, you can see.
It was stupid as well because Reguilon was running basically into a blind alley there. Yeah. Brilliant from Reguilon. Just again, 2 things in the last couple of minutes from him. I know, it was a third choice of the backup emergencies, but a couple of things there, a little bit cute with the foul, and then they're just winning that foul on for us. Good things there from him. Free kick to United, sort of level
going.
with the edge of the 18-yard
Keep going,
box.
Like you say, we've done this before this season, and then 20, 30 minutes in or whatever, we've given up. We've just got to keep going. It's a ball, that.
Ooh,
Great ball.
Another corner, is it? Or is it another throw-in?
I think it's a throw-in.
Throw-in near the corner flag.
Harry Kane doing his defensive duties there.
As you'd expect. Watch out!
Bloody hell. Talk about putting him under pressure there.
Oh. All right, left-hand side. Yeah, that's not bad. Onana just pinging it out to Bruno. Brilliant pass into Rashford.
Showed a little bit too much of it there, Marcus.
Yeah, he did. Poor touch from Rashford. That brilliant pass from Onana.
He's got to get on him. Get on Upamecano.
Yeah.
Telling you now.
Yeah, he's got one in him, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Good press.
Go on. Keep going. Go on, Rasmus.
Højlund.
Right, Marcus. Keep chasing him. Keep chasing him. That'll do that.
That was good, that, because Rashford didn't get the tackle.
No.
But it put enough pressure on the lineman that the pass was bad. That's why.
For all these people that want to see Marcus Rashford running more.
There you go.
There you go. Have a bit of that.
Yeah.
What are the comments saying? Anyone in the chat? I know you've got to be careful that you don't get a little heads up on the score.
Yes.
So just any super chat or anything.
Good tracking back from Rashford. United. I don't know what that means. Reguilon is all hustle. People giving a lot of credit to Reguilon.
Isn't it mad? Like the kid.
No
one, right? Before we signed him or we linked with him, no one was saying, "Oh, you know what? If we've lost left backs, we need to get Sergio Reguilon off Spurs."
He's a forgotten man, money really.
He's still got it in him, hasn't
he? Yeah.
I know it's only early doors, but he's obviously a talented kid.
He's obviously capable of putting in good performances. He's not completely shit.
Go on, Marcus Rashford.
Goes around his man, cuts back.
Oh, you cross it there, man. That felt like a shot, that, to me. Yeah. Was it a cross, Ronnie? I thought so. It looked like a shot, that, and he's got to pass it there. He gets onto his right foot, and it's a pass back of a shot.
Yeah,
it's and Højlund, he's got to fizz that across him there, yeah.
He's kind of just put his head down and kicked it toward the back post there, hasn't he? It's not one.
He's got to be better there, because he had it on his right foot. There's no excuse.
No. And he could have took a touch if he'd have wanted. There was space in front of him. He needs to, either go for the shot, really put it in, try and hit the top corner or the bottom corner, or
pick out your man.
Yeah,
but he didn't either.
Just sort of looked down and smacked it. Go on then, press him there. That's the thing though. No one's pressing with him.
Where's Facundo? Man like Facundo.
He's watching his full.
He's watching Alonso Davies now.
Yeah,
which is probably what he should be doing. To be fair to the kid.
The offside then, Abra. He's not catching that anyway. Don't matter.
Go on, you keep running, son. Keep going.
This Bayern Munich kit, I don't love it. It don't feel very Bayern-y to me. Looks like their away kit or something. In my head, their kits are mostly red.
What's with all the kits as well? It looks like you've been dipped in water after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What's all that about?
See, you could read Kim Min-jae's tattoos on his chest through his shirt
that's a new thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
That's brilliant from Reg.
Oh, he was all over him there, ref. Well done, big foot, that one.
Yeah, it was. Good touch from Reguilon, but just a poor pass, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he was arguing that.
Well done, Bruno. You've seen the space there.
Oh, he's unlucky there. He's just got to be a little bit closer.
United, currently in a little bit of a phase of get the ball, play it forward really quick, lose it.
Do you think that needs to change a little bit?
We just need another few minutes.
10 minutes ago, we did a little spell where we kept the ball for a little bit. I think we need a bit more of that, or would you keep just sort of trying to find that killer pass?
I want to see a bit more control. Think about the game as a whole, rather than just like.
You need to look at all of it. You're not looking at. You're looking at it through the prism when you need to look at the whole pie.
Yeah. The full pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the minute, they're just going slice by slice.
Exactly.
And I like that we're trying to get the ball forward quickly, but you're sort of allowing them to just have the de facto pressure by giving it away all the time. And I think we need to think about the game as a whole.
It always amazes me, like when you think about it, like players go to places like the Allianz Arena. Like Facundo Palestra, how old is he? 22.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that is awful. Who was that?
Højlund.
Oh, come on, bro. You can't be doing that. That was poor, that from Højlund. He's got to be better there.
Yeah,
and also, Eriksen, stick a foot in.
Yeah.
He just walks past you.
Too slow there, Eriksen, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just letting Kane walk past him there. He did the right thing there, Lindelof. I thought the angle was too tight, but he should be blocking it.
Yeah. Corner
Don't take a chance. It's a ball out, and he's done well there. Andre Onana, spectacular push away there for another corner to Bayern Munich. There's more work to be done here.
Got a super chat from Fergal McClements.
Fergal's a big supporter of the channel.
Yes, cheers, mate. He says, what's your thoughts on the fact that Ten Hag has taken a more hands-on approach to the academy and still doesn't want to try new youngsters in the first team?
I always think when he's not trying new youngsters in the first team, he knows what he's doing. I think there's a reason. We're always very quick, right? This time last season, I was calling for Zidane Iqbal, James Garner, and Charlie Savage to all be given minutes, and 2 of them have dropped down. I think where's he gone to? Zidane gone to Utrecht. Yeah. Charlie Savage has gone to, I forget where he's gone, and James Garner's gone to Everton. And for his first 6 months at Everton, he was on the bench, I think.
Yeah, Charlie Savage is at Reading.
Reading, sorry. Yeah. And I think a manager sort of knows what he's seen in training, where a player's at, and you've got to be careful. Like sometimes you can force it too quickly and just wreck a player.
And he's playing Garnacho regularly.
Yeah,
he was clearly keen on Mania, but there's an injury there. It's not like he's not playing.
Who was that there? Delot, come on, son.
Misplaced passes in the last 10 minutes.
There was so many options on in there. He didn't need to do what he was trying to do there.
Again, this thing that I was talking about 5 minutes ago of we get the ball and go forward really quick, lose it.
Oh, Martinez has played him on side there. Well, he's done well though because he's tackled him.
He's done brilliantly. Did Martinez play him on or did Lindelof just step out there?
I don't know. I've got a camera in front of a bit of the
It was Martinez. Martinez was playing him on.
Right.
But I don't know if that was because he should have stepped up and he didn't, or because Lindelof shouldn't have stepped up and he did.
I'm with you. But he tackled him, so he did what he's on the fucking pitch.
But let's slow it down for a minute here. This is what I'm saying. We're frantic and we're giving them chances to counter-attack us without ever actually having any control. We're doing it again, giving the ball away. Rashford there with a good foul. But we shouldn't be having to do this.
Shut up, Goretzka.
The fair probably is a ball.
It's not even touched him.
Maybe not. Good defending from Martinez, that bloody hell. I think he's hurt, Martinez.
He's not looked the same as he since that injury.
He's fully fit. I think it's whatever the new thing is, the fact that he keeps getting subbed off after 60 minutes. You don't do that if he's fully fit.
He looked all over the gaff against Wolves. Got that yellow, and then he got subbed at half time, didn't he? Against Arsenal, he got that knock, but got brought off. But when was fit to go away with Argentina.
But then gets subbed again against Brighton 70 minutes in. He's clearly not fully fit.
Which is disconcerting considering we've got. Go on, stay on the deck. There's more where that came from, sunshine. Hey, you worry about that.
He's done well there, Redgrave. Is it a foul or is he just going to throw in?
He's just being mad.
It's not a foul, that. He's tackled him.
There, clearly got the ball.
He's been good, Redgrave. That's fine.
That's a brilliant tackle.
It's a great tackle. Is he giving a foul?
He must have done because he's told him off.
Ten Hag. No, it was throwing, wasn't it?
Well, if it's a throw-in, then...
No, I just said...
Oh, mate. Tell you what...
I'll put my car now, honestly.
Mate.
If he was playing for United, he would have been exposed as being the bang average.
Everyone would be on his case, man.
Because he plays for Bayern and they win every week. He can get away with it.
Like.
He's got a clanger in him. He's tried his best there. That came off Højlund then. And he's got some good attributes.
Right, let's get a foot in here, eh?
Too many that aren't good enough. Is it offside there? Right, the game's just slowed down last couple of minutes. I like that. We need to be the ones that push it again next. Because
offside. We
get caught in these lulls and we never come back. We have a good 15 minutes. The game slows down. The other team speeds it back up and we're going, we're knackered now. We can't be having that. Go on, get in him. Lucky touch that from Kinley.
That's it, Højlund. He's run himself into the ground already, the kid Højlund, hasn't he? You know what I mean?
Like that. Right. Go on, what are you? Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. Dallo and Lindelof both leaving the ball to each other.
That's not what you want to see.
No. Would you like to see more of those flags at Old Trafford? They're buying, they got the low big. It's like You'd be pissed off if you were behind a giant flag for 90
I remember
minutes,
once. I know Rob Marger used to do all the flags. I don't know if he still does.
A ball?
Like, taking him into Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And when we played Liverpool once, Eric, what was that? What were you doing there?
Good pressure from
Great
Reguilon
tackle,
there.
Reguilon.
Fantastic. Really good that.
Get back.
Tracked Sané all the way across the pitch there. Got a brilliant tackle, and you can tell he's trying to show off for his new boss, can't you, Reguilon? He's proper got that first week at school vibe going on. He's loving it. Excellent that.
Yeah,
brilliant.
really good. Did well there.
Ericsson, I would be less. I would put less blame at Ericsson's door there. I think the pass in from Rashford was never had a chance.
Big touch there. Who was that there? Casemiro?
I don't know. Yeah, that wasn't
That's a
good
big
though.
head there. That could have been dropping for someone.
Gnabry playing the ball across the box there. Oh, it wasn't Gnabry. It was Gnabry who should have headed it. What happened there? Did he just miss it?
I think we got away. Got lucky there.
Yeah.
Bayern fizzed across there, and like you say, he sticks his head on that, and I think that's probably 1-0 to them.
Yeah. Lima just finding a bit of space behind the defence here. Who's this on the ball? Goretzka, Kimmich. They're all having a go. United just sat back. We just got a bit more of a Bayern holding the ball, holding a bit of pressure. United sitting back, edge of the box, looking quite compact. United, but need to not let this just be the only flow of the game. Now we need to make sure that they don't just have constant pressure.
Yeah,
need to look dangerous.
It's just so. Yeah, this is the thing I was saying about Palestri earlier. Hang on a minute, what are they doing here? Davies going on a little bit of a run there.
Dragging people out of possession, that's the worry. Well done.
Bloody hell.
Fucking hell. Good pass. Sané cutting inside. Come on, Ericsson, fucking hell.
Oh, clanger by Onana.
Hell.
Absolute
Terrible
clanger.
by Onana there.
And we've been sticking up for him and praising him, and saying how De Gea this, that, and the other, and mate, the knives are going to be out for him now. He's just dropped an absolute clanger. Get up, get on with it.
Unbelievable.
Do you know what? My phone was vibrating, and I feared the worst. I'm not even looking at that. He's going to be trending now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. It's bread and butter, this.
Too easy as well. The
bro,
other thing is,
there's no excuse
the
there.
save is just, it's literally, it's straight at him. He goes underneath his body, through his hands.
Oh, man, that's
Shocking.
horrible.
Just got to save it.
No, what are you doing, man?
Horrendous.
I wouldn't mind. We've been doing in this game what we should have been doing. You're never just going to go and dominate Bayern Munich. But we've had chances. We've looked control, looked composed at the back. Compact, they haven't really had that many chances.
No.
And he's done a bit of a pass back from 20 yards out.
Yeah.
Who was it? I didn't even see. Was it off?
The other thing there
Makes matters worse. It's that blue.
It's a very simple creation of a chance. Ball to Harry Kane, lays it back off. Everyone gets sucked to Sané. No one's anywhere near him when he has that shot. Ericsson gets sucked in. There's no one tracking the man who has the shot. It doesn't matter because he should save it. But the fact that he's getting a free shot there, we need to look at that as well, because that's not helping, is it? But yeah, it's obviously
He's got to get
that
out of his head, get on with it, and all you see him get back in the game now, bro. That's all you can do.
Yeah. I hate stuff like that because it's fucking.
That's it.
It's
now.
Already a thing before tonight, and that's the first one that's a genuine stinker.
Yeah, you can't defend that.
No,
you can't. Like
just
you were saying before, the one against Arsenal, you can give him like the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
He's deflected his shot from Declan Rice 5 yards out. The second one against Brighton, he probably should have done better, but it's not a complete clanger. It's just he should have done a bit better, and he also made up for it later on, or did some good saves later on. That in a game like this is unacceptable.
Yeah. Just straight at him, innit?
Yeah.
Straight at him, a little bit of power in it, but
puts
nothing
the defence
major.
on edge. We were talking about the defence feeling confident with him there now. If you've got a goalkeeper who's dropping them ones, you're going to be nervous every time they sort of get 20 yards out.
I hate this.
All the people to score as well. Anyone but Leroy Sané, man.
Yeah.
City fans will be loving this now. Right.
Come on, then.
Go on. Let's get back in this game. Oh, that's a bad ball, that Ericsson.
This is what we're doing over and over again. This is what I was saying 10 minutes ago. Whenever we get the ball, we're trying to score within 3 passes. Like, get the ball, forward, forward, forward. I know we need to counter-attack, but we also need to have a presence in the game. It's not just run it up the other end. That's not always on.
Why
it's not
is
always
it,
an
right?
option.
What goes on with United after like 20 odd minutes every game?
Well,
It's
do you
like
know what happens?
something just switches in our brain, and it's like, right, we need to concede now, or we need to switch off,
We start
or
well, we
someone
miss
needs
a
to make a
chance.
mistake. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's every game.
That chance.
Saying that, I say it's every game. Against Forest, it was after 5 minutes. Twice.
Should be 1-0 up as well.
Should, man.
That's the other thing. It's the same old story, isn't it? This is what
Gets the crowd going, gives them confidence,
Yeah.
rattles us, rattles the defence. Onana's now got that in his head.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've cost my team the game. It's just a horrible, horrible situation.
The pressure he's going to get on social media, in the press, is going to be absolutely... He'll have never seen anything like it.
Gary Neville said it. There's probably no... putting him under pressure there, man. Jesus Christ. There's probably no job in football that's got more pressure on it than being number one for Manchester United. I think he's right.
Nothing's more heavily scrutinised, is it? Go on. Fucking hell.
Go and
He's
win
tackled
that!
you twice there.
Who was that then?
Ericsson, well
Of course
done.
it was.
Martinez. Fucking Upamecano
you got
there trying
lucky
his best
there.
to give the ball away.
I think Ericsson's getting a bit exposed there at times, you know, because he's just not. There's been a couple of opportunities where you need someone who's going to stick a foot in it, and he's not that guy.
No.
But if you bring on someone like Hannibal, he's liable to just boot someone.
Yeah. And if you bring on McTominay, we're just going to have even less
that.
chance of making chances.
No, I'm not on that bus.
This
anymore.
is where Amrabat's needed, isn't it? Big away games against the top teams. As if they play the ball back to the edge of the box and have a free shot,
2-0.
I can't even believe it. We've
fallen apart.
conceded that exact fucking goal 5 times in the last 3 games.
Falling apart.
What are we doing? We conceded that goal 3 times against Brighton. Ball down the line, cut it back to the edge of the box. We conceded it against Arsenal. We conceded it again tonight. How do we keep conceding the same goal? It's the same fucking thing over and over again, isn't it?
It is.
It's the same goal. In behind the defence, no one is marking the fucking man in the middle. Free shot. How do we keep conceding the same goal? The fucking bobble there is unbelievable, but it doesn't even. It doesn't matter.
Oh man, that's horrible.
It's so easy.
It's
I can't believe
there,
it.
just no one picking him up.
If you didn't watch,
I don't know. Was that Ericsson or Martinez that should have been with him?
Lindelof's not looking. No one's tracking back with him. It's
Martinez, man.
To say it's a
can't
blind
even tell
spot
you.
is absolutely understating.
And now this game is in danger of turning into a rout already.
It's over.
The game's over, man. We ain't getting a draw out of this now.
I'm already worried.
I'm already worried that it could be another hammering.
Yeah.
And how many hammerings can you take before people start going, something's got to change? Just get a bit of composure. Pick out some players,
Keep
man.
the ball for a minute. We don't have to score within 3 passes. Keep the ball. Turn round and pass it to a United player. It's not through the lines every time.
Go on, Marcus.
We've got no in-game management whatsoever by the players. Realise that... Go on, Reguilon.
Oh! That could have fell anywhere. See what? Sergio Reguilon is by a country mile our best player. Our third choice left back, emergency left back. Oh, it's just not drop for him there. Keep going, lad. We need to see more of that. Him and Marcus linking up down that left-hand side. We were doing it early doors and we just stopped.
So frustrating, that.
It is frustrating, and it's... Delo's got to get with it as well, man, because you can't keep just letting them down that left-hand side or his side. It's not even a 2-0 game at all, man. One mistake from the goalkeeper and a goal that's just us switching off as usual.
I genuinely can't believe it. We're conceding that same goal 5 times in the last 3 games.
It's just horrible, isn't it?
What is that?
It is just abysmal. And someone as analytical as Erik ten Hag, you think he'd be looking at it and going, right, here's what we need to do to fix it, but I suppose you can't if the players are just not listening to you or just switching off all the time. I mean, how much space did he have, the kid, to finish then?
That was the worst one of the lot.
Like,
Odegaard's was bad. Welbeck's was bad. I can't even think of the other fuckers. The other goals that Brighton scored, but they're all the same goal. Two from one side, one from the other. That's the worst of the lot.
He had so much time. And
7 yards out and no one's within 2 yards of him. I don't even know how I can work the maths out on that. Like Lindelof is just running back towards his own goal blindly. I don't know where the midfield is. I don't want to blame it all on Lindelof because I don't
know. Like I couldn't work out where it
midfielders?
was Martinez or Ericsson who just ran past the kid. And what's that, man? What's that?
Bruno being pissed off.
Right, well, don't do that. If you're angry, don't just boot the ball out because you're fuming. Oh, it's such a nothing shot, that as well.
The bobble as well.
He's
It's so,
lucky with
it's
the
so
bobble,
fortunate for Musiala, but it doesn't even matter because any
Who's
luck that
picking him
he's
up
got
there?
is more than overcome by the absolutely shocking defending by Man United. We deserve to concede a goal defending like that. Josie, same pattern, play well for 20 minutes, miss chances, concede, heads go down, concede again.
It is. You're right. Do you know what? Just same old, same old. I was saying when I was being deluded and saying we could win. If we don't win, my worry is this will happen.
Yeah,
we'll concede and then we'll concede. We'll capitulate like we do away from home.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's going on at the minute.
And the frustrating thing is not that you're right. Well, that is frustrating, but is that it doesn't take a genius to work that out.
No.
Anyone could...
Hit the target there, son.
Anyone
Come on,
could sit there and see this pattern emerging of we start well, one thing doesn't go our way, and everyone loses their heads.
That's it. And of all the things, right, of all the ways for us to concede a goal, the worst thing you can have is that a clanger from a goalkeeper who's already getting a few question marks around him. We was defending him before the game kicks off, saying I don't get the criticism he's been getting and all this sort of stuff. And I was saying how he'd been asked about in a press conference about how he's not just good with his feet, he's a good shot stopper. But to make the mistake he made in a game like this, 6 games into your United career, it's just horrible. It's horrible. And he's going to have United fans on his case now because that's what we do. He's going to have pundits and all the rest of it, the media and the usual brigade, the ex-Scouse pundits laying into him. He's going to have all the nonsense about we should never have let De Gea go and all that sort of jazz, and it's just going to be minging. It's going to be, what's going to be more minging is when we play Crystal Palace and Dean Henderson has the game of his life.
Yeah, which is absolutely inevitable.
Back-to-back games of his life.
But yeah, I would say this regardless of the result tonight. I bet you we won't win both of those games. It'll either be a win and a draw, a win and a loss, 2 draws. There's no way we beat Palace twice in a row. No chance.
No.
I can't, because for that we have to be the better team over 180 minutes.
Yeah.
We aren't capable of doing that.
We've had 20 minutes against 18 minutes or whatever it was against Brighton. 20 minutes, 28, 27 minutes tonight. Maybe half an hour against Spurs, whatever.
Yeah.
And a 30-minute spell against Forest. Like, we've had these little spells where, against Arsenal, we had that 15-minute spell in the second half, didn't we?
Yeah.
We've not had a good half, let alone a good game.
No.
This is the first, as well, one of the first games we can say, I can see what he's trying to do tonight. It's working. It looks like it could get us a result, and then same old, one mistake, and that is it. It all goes out the window.
We've been pretty non-existent down that right-hand side as well, haven't we? If we're honest.
Yeah, we all wanted possession, but this is what I've been meaning to say and not said it yet. As nervous as I'm as a fan watching it, imagine being a youngster playing in this sort of game. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of pressure. I know he's an international footballer and he's obviously mad talented, but still, I can't imagine the nerves. Like, come on, man. It sounds so 2-bit, but we just need to get to half time now and just only be at 2-0 down.
Yeah. That's good from Hoyland there.
Go on, Marcus, keep that in. Oh, he's not going to reach that.
If we just get the
Come
next
on,
goal,
don't let your head drop. Keep going.
Not even about getting a point, but just get the next goal so that it doesn't get away from us. It's not a battering.
Yeah.
Because if it's 4-0, 2-1 is so much better than 4-0.
Yeah.
Even though group stage wise, it probably won't make a difference. We can't have another capitulation away from home where we lose our heads. and we just get back.
The thing is, right, whether you like it or not, and we all love Erik ten Hag and we all back him and think, I think he's the right man for the job and everything. If you're always losing against top sides away from home, sooner or later they're going to go, if he can't fix it, he's got to go. On? Like, that's what's going to happen. I'm not saying it should, but that will happen.
Yeah.
You can't just constantly lose to good teams away from home.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's not a thing that's okay.
No.
It's ridiculous. And it's the nature of the losses.
Oh, fucking hell.
As well.
Yeah.
We
need this has to not be 3-0 before half time.
Do
They
you
could
know what I
score
mean?
here now. They're going to, aren't they? They're in the box. Oof. Shot from the edge of the box, blocked by Eriksen. Pellistri with a heavy touch. Just infinite pressure now. Gnabry on the left, pulls it back. Finally, we've realised that you need to mark the man who's running into the box.
Bruno, what's that, man? What's that ball there?
Space in front of the defence here, right. Bit of time now. Keep the ball for a minute.
Yeah, just keep hold of it for a minute.
Pressing really high, loads of pressure, loads of confidence. Well done, Onana. That's really good. No, it's not.
No, it's not. He's giving it away.
Giving it to Thingy. Thought he'd give it to Casemiro.
I think he's in danger of just starting to have one. Right, go on, Marcus. Get on him. Get on him, son. Now Upamecano's looking like a world beater. It's all going wrong. Make sure you get involved in the chat and the comments. Hit that like button as well, man. Give us a like. You might not like the result, but give us a like. Great to see subs going up as well. If you are watching, you're obviously watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribing to the channel.
Get to 718,000 subs before the end of the game.
That'd be nice. Come on, we can do that. Give us a subscribe.
Smash it.
And we're going to be hearing from Ronaldo Brown at halftime as well. He's going to have stats and give us his opinion on it as well. So let us know anything you want to chat to him about, any questions you've got. Who do you think's played well in this half for Manchester United? There's not many candidates, but there are a couple. The main one for me has been Sergio Reguilon, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's the only one who's looked any good.
To be honest with you, I say there are a couple. I think he's the only one who's standing out. I think you're right there, bro. It's another game where there's just more questions for Erik ten Hag, and it doesn't matter if we're missing players. It doesn't matter if Bayern Munich away is one of the toughest games you can possibly get. You're still going to get question marks around you. You're still going to get criticism as Manchester United manager.
Going into the box.
Stand him up.
Look, Leroy Sané's free in the middle of the box here. He's just got the ball now. It's just like men stood in the box with no United players near them. Go on.
Right. Pick a pass.
There you go, that's good. Hold on, Rasmus.
Go on, Marcus. He needs help.
Frustrating, this, isn't it? Just seeing the same thing over and over again.
Do you know what it is, right, as well? It's the hope that kills you, and it's because we've got enough good players that you think we are capable of getting a result against certain teams. It's not like you're just looking at the team going, oh, we've just got no good players whatsoever, or there's no one who can score, or there's no one, No. You've got good players on that pitch for Manchester United, but just this season, we've just been shocking.
Yeah.
We really have.
Reguilon running behind.
Should have picked out Casemiro there, to be fair, but it's a bit of a bad pass, that.
Good touch as well. Yeah, Højlund, he needs to smack it across to Højlund there.
Yeah, he's just got he's made it easy for the goalkeeper there. Made his decision for him. But this is what I mean about that left-hand side. Reguilon and Rashford, they've linked up a few times and got down there, but just not often enough.
He's going to be knackered, Reguilon, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hardly played.
Sané's cut inside, bending it.
I thought that was going in then, I ain't going to lie.
I did.
Ronnie's smiling. I don't know what he's smiling about. Smiling about what?
He's frustrated at the game.
Frustrated.
I thought Sané had scored then.
I did. Yeah, get involved in the chat in the comments. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. What's that? 1 minute?
How can you have? I don't
what?
really care because I want us to get in. But
no, but I don't.
How can you have 2 goals and have 1 minute stoppage time?
That makes
Especially
no sense.
now
I mean,
as
I'm
well,
glad.
Yeah,
To be honest with you, because I think we just need to get in for the second half. The trouble is, all right. A lot of the time, we've had under Ten Hag, and when we've struggled in the first half, we've come out in the second half and been worse.
Yeah, we have.
Like,
that's the concern. It just carries on exactly where we left off.
It's rare we come out in the second half after a poor first half, and we're much better.
No.
And in some cases, we've come out in the second half and been absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, we have.
Like, don't get me wrong, there's the odd game where we haven't.
We've got a minute here. A little bit of space here for United. Well, we've slowed it down now. Let them get back into shape.
Forward!
I know.
Doing there, Ericsson.
That's half time. Manchester United, Bayern Munich 2, Manchester United 0. Just sort of letting the game end there at the half time there. And maybe they didn't know how long they had left. We'll cut to Ronaldo in just a minute. But before that, give me your thoughts, Jay. 2-0.
Just my worst fears came to fruition.
Yeah.
I was saying before the game I thought we could win.
Yeah.
And I said if we don't, I think the problem I've got is if we sit back or we're soaking up pressure and we concede, then we're always capable of conceding more than one and just capitulating. We conceded one, very unlucky goal, just a bit of a clanger from Onana. It's not like they deserved it by Munich at the time. I thought we were a better team, but a big clanger from Onana, and then 4 minutes later, the entire team is just switches off almost. Not the entire team, but the low doesn't deal with the run. No one's picking up. Is it Gnabry in the middle?
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's Martinez. I don't know whether it's Lindelof. I don't know whether it's Ericsson. But between the three of them, there's just it just doesn't happen. And you're like, what's going on here? Why are we not learning? Like you say, from the Brighton game, that's the same goal that we conceded against Brighton. It's the same sort of passage of play we've seen time and time again at Manchester United. And you've got to be better than that. You can't go to a place like the Allianz Arena and just switch off. You can't go to a place like Allianz Arena and just let players basically walk past you. And I know you got lucky with a bobble. You can't go to a game like this, a ground like this, and just leave a man in acres of space.
No.
There's no one near him.
It's insane.
There's no one near him. Are we ready to hear from Ronnie? Yeah, can we have can we get a picture out of Ronnie as well and on the old socials?
Ronaldo, I mean, you like to look at your stats, look at your data, look at patterns. Why do we keep seeing that same goal happening? Brighton scored it 3 times. Arsenal scored it with Odegaard. We've seen it again tonight, that second goal. What is going on?
Obviously, more often than not, I feel like it's the midfielders not getting back enough, not getting behind the ball, not getting goal side. But also, you got to think about the defenders as well. Like, obviously, when I played, didn't play at Champions League level, but I feel like I played enough. Where
on this podcast, on this watch along.
Where one of my biggest bugbears with defenders is when they defend space, especially on crosses. Obviously, Gnabry, they've literally ran back to kind of defend the 6-yard box, that kind of zone that people, like defenders, like to defend, and then Gnabry just cleverly pulls off, unmarked, and then taps it in. It's not, to be fair, I can't really criticise the midfield for that because he's a left winger, he's a left forward. He's basically playing in a forward area, so he needs to be marked by a defender, and Space has never ever scored a goal, Jay. Do you know what I mean?
Nice.
So if you're in a box, you're defending, you should be looking for the man. Where's Gnabry gone? Can I defend him? I feel like defenders get too harped up on trying to like defend space, etc. But one of my thingies that I want to talk about is the mentality, though. I know we talked about it on the weekend. As soon as a goal goes in, it just seems like heads go down. There's no belief there. I feel like the only player that showed belief today from minute one and showed a little bit of urgency and a little bit of fire and a little bit of fight was Reguilon.
I agree.
He was a lone player who's not good enough for Spurs. We're talking about a player that they play a 45-year-old Perisic who's not even a left back instead of him. And they've got rid of Reguilon and he's come in the first 2 games. He's looked a level above most of our players. And I think that's very, very damning because I'm looking at the stats here.
Go on, hit
the
me some stats,
The
bro.
stats are fairly even. It's like they've had 5 shots, 2 on target. We've had 3 shots, 1 on target. The possession's been slightly 50-50. You got 56% to Bayern. You've got 44% to us. We completed around the same amount of passes, only about 40 passes in between them. The pass accuracy actually has been 89% by Bayern and 85% by United. So when you look at the stats, you look at the metrics. We've had 3 corners, they've had 3 corners. The game looks fairly even, and I think that's because the first 20 minutes, this is a story that's been quite repetitive. We start the game well. The first 20 minutes, we show a few bright sparks, and then moments, we either don't capitalise on them or they don't go our way. I think the Palestri chance, I think that's a foul.
Yeah, I think Alphonso Davies. Go on, bro.
I think Alphonso Davies has gone through the back of his leg. Outside the box, that's a foul. The reason why Palestri has not scored is because Davies has kicked through his leg to get the ball. But obviously, that's not going to excuse the rest of the half. But I feel like that's something that should have been a penalty. I think we've had a couple of chances we could have snatched that. We saw Rashford kind of carrying on his little bit of his greed when he gets in that left inside channel. There's a point where he needs to attack Konrad Lema a little bit more. Konrad Lema is not a right back. He's a centre mid. He's deputised in there. Rashford's had 1v1, beat him, chopped inside, and I feel like if he fires that across the 6-yard box, we finally have an instinctual striker like Højlund who has that kind of inbox presence, makes movements. I think he needs to fire them balls across, and we can get more goals. Højlund's never going to be able to get his full potential if he's got a winger or he's got creative players on both sides that are not giving the opportunities, especially when he's a big 6'2" Berlin striker. He needs a little bit better service. And in my opinion, I think we can still nick a goal in the second half. But as you've said, one of my biggest concerns is United, a lot of the time in Ten Hag actually, are much worse in second halves. So we've got first half, we 2-0 away at Bayern in the Allianz Arena. And you want us to kind of come out, show a little bit of fight, pick up the tempo a little bit, be a little bit more tidy in possession, have a little bit more belief more than anything. And I don't have any belief in them that they can do that, because generally in the second halves, United have been worse than the first halves. And am I believing that's going to change in the second half? I'm not quite sure.
I think there's a tweet, Ronnie. I'm with you. Me and Joe were saying then, second half, we've not, under Erik ten Hag, shown much historically under Erik ten Hag.
Yeah.
That we're a team that, you know, in the past, like under Ole, for example, second half we'd usually come out and turn things around. Under Erik ten Hag, that's just not happened. There's a tweet gone out. I think we've got some replies. I'll let you talk us through that, bro.
Yeah, I can't quite get the tweet here.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've not got quite the tweet right here, but I can go find it. But I know people have been tweeting the comments. I was looking at the YouTube comments.
Go on, you get to the comments. You get to the comments. Go on, you get to the comments.
The first one that's quite notable, I can't really relate, but someone said they need to smoke a joint to kind of calm the rage a little bit. I don't think it's quite that bad. Obviously, it's frustrating. We are away at Bayern, but in my opinion, people are saying Onana's wank. I think people have turned on Onana already. I feel like he's save against João Pedro, we probably could have done better with. And in these big games against the likes of Bayern in the Champions League, if you are going to win, moments matter. And obviously, we talked about the moment with Palestri, and I think that Sane shot, if he saves that, maybe United still show a little bit of urgency, and then we don't kind of get our heads down a little bit as much. And I think, as much as we're talking about Onana and his distribution, the first and foremost, he needs to be a keeper first. He needs to save shots, and we need our keeper to stand up tall in big moments. And I think mistakes like that, especially after he's had a couple of dodgy moments, he's not doing himself any favours. But I'm not really going to count him out just yet. I know how important he will be eventually to the way that we play and etc. But I think with the way that we are creating so many like defensive errors, we're susceptible to so many chances. His shot stopping is going to be the most important thing at the moment, and he's coming up a little bit short in that aspect.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Joe's got the tweet, Ronnie. If we go to Joe, Joe's going to...
It's gone on the iPad.
Yeah.
So we were saying here, what are your thoughts on that first half then? On that appalling first half? A lot of the comments, as you can see, a lot of talk about the keeper, change the keeper, same crap, start good, then concede the first goal and collapse as normal. We are crap. The football is embarrassing. Where's the Ajax total football? I mean, there's no optimism whatsoever. What do you think is going on at the minute? This 20 minutes and then shit. How can that be a repeating pattern? Because obviously they're coming out with like high energy. They're ready for the game. There's a bit of confidence there. Do you think they're just fragile? Like, do you think they're tired? Do you think they're old? Do you think that we've got a wrong makeup of the squad? How is it that we create chances against everyone we play against? That chance against Bayern, you could argue, other than the Gnabry goal, is the best chance of the game. That was better than the Sané one.
I think that's one of the most frustrating points. Even when you was out, we went through a little bit of stats. The stats are literally very even throughout all of the metrics. And I think Bayern have not even played up to their best of their ability. I think they've not really got a second game much. I think they've been sloppy at times. And still, they've just kind of ventured forward twice. And we basically gifted them goals. No one's marked Gnabry in a box. Onana spilt the ball into his own net. But this whole 20 minutes thing, and then we kind of capitulate. It's almost like a boxer. It's like United come out swinging a little bit, and then as soon as we get hit back, it's almost like we go into our shell a little bit. And that is concerning, because if that becomes a repetitive factor, then it's almost will become a habit then, and it becomes something that's almost embedded in the mentality of the team. And that's where you need characters. Games like this, you need players to kind of like grab the game by the scruff of the neck. When I was watching the first 20 minutes, I thought, okay, this game looks fairly even. It's swaying one way or the other. We're very much in it. We just need someone to kind of do something, grab the game and control it. And I don't think we do that. You was complaining in the first half that every time that United attacked, it seemed that it was very transitional.
Yeah.
Like every passing vertical, we were almost rushing it a little bit. And there weren't really much control.
No.
And I think we need someone, I don't know if we don't have that player in the team, but we need someone to put their foot on the ball, kind of dictate, play a little bit, almost like Kimmich has started to do for them in the latter stages of the first half. But what you're asking me about, I think it's a mentality issue with the whole 20 minutes and then kind of fade off a little bit as soon as we get hit back.
It's weird that we've got this like questions about mentality for different reasons, aging back a decade. You know, there's people, we've been pointing fingers at people who don't have the right mentality, supposedly, through 4 or 5 different iterations of a team now. You know, going back to, Fellaini and players like that, then Lukaku, and it's been players like Paul Pogba and, you know, Harry Maguire, and now we're looking at this team, and it's not the same team. Other than Luke Shaw, who obviously isn't playing tonight, who's been there the whole time? No one. How is it that we keep having these
Is that
new
not a
teams,
cultural
new
thing?
generations?
You know, like with Van Gaal. Do you remember how we spent I was there for the Van Gaal era and press conferences and stuff. I was reporting at the time, and almost every press conference, the journalist was trying to work out what he meant by philosophy. And I think it was Gary Neville who sat down with him and went over it with him in an in-depth interview, like, what is this philosophy you keep talking about? And he was almost, I think he almost talks about like the culture at a club, like from the tea lady to the captain. You've all got to have the right mentality. You've got to have the right philosophy. You've got to have that desire. Fergie had it. You know, I always tell that story that Chocky told me that when Chocky went back to Carrington once, we just lost to Liverpool, and he walks in Carrington, he can't see anyone on the desk. There's no one reception. Goes in the canteen, there's no canteen staff. He thinks, where is everyone? In the distance, he can hear Fergie shouting. And Fergie got everyone in a room somewhere, and because we lost to Liverpool, he got all the staff, the groundsman, the chef, the players, the coaching staff, and was giving them all a rollicking. Saying that the reason we lost Liverpool is because it's indicative of what is going on at this club. It's just not good enough. You're all taking your eye off the ball. And it was like he blamed everyone. Because he said it's all a collective thing where our mentality needs to be, we are the best, we do the best, everyone strives for the best. And obviously that's taken it to extreme. It's not the groundsman's fault we lost at Anfield. But I get it, of this idea that if you're at a club where your mentality, and Ronnie, you've been at clubs, you know, if your mentality is, like, pains me to say it because I despise them, and they're facing 115 charges, let's not forget that. But at City, everyone's on the same page, geared to win. Yeah. It's all about winning. It's all about being the best, whether that's the social media team, whether it's the players, whether it's the manager, whether it's the coaching staff, whether it's the whatever. Everyone we are the best, and we are striving to be the best. As Busby said, we aim for perfection, and if we don't achieve that, we'll settle for excellence. At United, it seems like we're aiming for mediocrity, and we're achieving just terribleness. Do you know what I mean? It's just not good enough, and I think that is an entire almost attitude of anyone. And it's weird because you just nailed it there, Joe, and I'll get back to you in a minute, Ronnie, because I know I'm talking quite a while, but we've brought in players like Raphael Varane, who's literally won more Champions Leagues than most clubs have. Casemiro, ditto, he's won more than Varane. Varane's also a World Cup winner. Martinez went away last season and won a World Cup in the middle of the season. Cristiano Ronaldo has won more than anyone other than Lionel Messi. You've got these players, you're bringing in these players who are winners, who've won a lot, who've got the right mentality, and have come here not just to get a payday and put the field, but they still want to carry on winning things. And even that's not shifted it. It still feels like we've got this, Celavi, not very good, never mind. we go again next week. I don't get it.
I do genuinely think, and I'm not blaming Onana dropping the ball through his hands on the Glazers, because that's obviously not what's happened today. But the only thing that has been a constant over these last 10 years that have allowed this to be the consistent mentality, the consistent issues of Man United, the only thing that's been here the whole 10 years is the Glazers. There's no other thread.
It's like,
there's
you know
no
what?
Other thread.
You're right, and it's like the Glazers were, a murderer.
Yeah.
But Fergie was the prison. So they were kept in prison by Fergie.
Yeah.
Because no matter how much damage they did to this club, Fergie was such a genius.
Yeah.
And because when they came, he already had Ronaldo and Rooney and Rio and Scholes, and he already had a team there and a squad there, and he was such a season winner that even when they were there, he carried on winning despite them, not because of them. But once Fergie went, it was like you took the jail away, and this murder was just run around to wreak havoc. And that's what it is now with the Glazers. There's no one. We haven't got a genius. We haven't got a squad full of winners, of Premier League and Champions League winners who've won it here. We haven't got young players coming through who are amazing. We haven't got players who've just won a title. No. We haven't got any of that.
The issue is you talk about that kind of thing, and then we literally come off the weekend of playing against a Brighton side who have none of those things either. Yeah. And then it just comes down to everyone buying into what the manager wants and all working together in unison. And I don't see that, because even in the first half, I feel like some of our shape was pretty decent out of possession, but then I feel like Lema was getting in behind Rashford a little bit too much. He almost was like, was he half and half? Was he pressing? Was he in the way? And as a winger, what I'd like to see in the second half is, if I'm seeing someone that's a makeshift right back and midfielder, I'd want to get on the ball as much as possible. I want to be the one that decides the game. And I feel like a lot of our joy in the first half came in that area, but mostly through Reguilon.
Yeah.
Reguilon was almost playing left back and left wing, being our best defensively, is doing what he can against Sane, who's been sharp, and then almost being our best attacking threat as well. So I feel like Rashford needs to do more. I think we need more of Eriksen, and I could pretty much go throughout the whole team. Hoyland's only had 8 touches in the first half, by the way.
Not enough.
So,
and I know that's not his fault, because some of the balls he's been chasing have been hitting hopes almost. But yeah, no, you're right. Ronnie, thanks for that, bro. We'll be in from Ronnie later on as well. The game the second half, I should say, has kicked off. So we're on 46 minutes, or just under 46 minutes. Yeah. United, all to do here. Joe, are you in the stage now of damage limitation already? No. Let's not let this be a rout. Do you see a pathway? Do you think we've got a half, we could get back in it? What's your gut telling you?
I think the thing with damage limitations is I don't necessarily trust this team to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got an option where we just, look good defensively for 45 minutes. I don't think we can do that. So I would say, obviously, try to correct the errors of the first half, track your men better. You've got to, I don't understand this thing of every team we play against look like they can run faster than us. And we had this under Jose. That is an effort issue. That's not a physicality issue. I know Eriksen's older and he's, but he's only 32. He's not a 50-year-old man. We've seen it with Rashford in the past. We've seen it with Bruno. You can just talk about the whole squad generally. Everyone looks like they care more than us. Everyone looks faster and sharper and stronger than us. They run past us and they elbow us out the way. That's not because they're faster and they're stronger than us. It's because they're trying harder. They think quicker. They want it more, so they run faster. Yeah. They run earlier. They're watching the game. They're more intent. There's more intent to their play. We're just lazily doing whatever we fancy. And it's easy to push someone out of the way when they're not really trying properly. Yeah. It's an effort issue. That's the thing. Then when people say about managers losing the dressing room or players phoning it in or whatever, this is what it looks like, because they aren't trying as hard as the teams they're playing. And when you're playing against teams who are either already better than you or close enough to you that the effort will make all the difference,
Bruno,
you lose those games.
Yeah.
Brighton
That's a foul.
United. We finish above them every single year. They aren't better than us. But when they're trying harder than us and the tactics are as good or better than ours, that will be the difference. And we're seeing it every week. Bayern aren't even that much better than us, really. You look at the stats first half, you look at the way they've played, the first goal was a nonsense. But we're just not doing the basic things in football. Running with your man.
No one wants
under sixes get taught that.
I know this is going to be an unpopular statement as well, and I know.
Good. Rashford's got a chance here. Hoyland.
Yes! Come on!
There we go.
Yes, Rasmus.
Fucking Good lad.
Well done. I thought then, for once, I was thinking, why has Rashford not had a shot there? Because I couldn't see properly, but obviously did the right thing. Is that the highest the volume will go, by the way? Can we get a little bit more if possible?
A little lick on that.
I'm an old man. I'm struggling to hear. We'll give ourselves a little bit of a lifeline here. Let's build on it. Just trying to have a look from there.
Lovely flick there. That pass there from, I believe it's Casemiro.
Oh, yeah.
To
See,
Rashford
did well there because he squares it. And then keeper don't cover himself in glory there.
Højlund just does what strikers do, which is just a
Takes a
scruffy
deflection.
swing of a leg,
Yeah.
get it towards the
Yeah.
goal, and it might go in. And that's what's happened. It's a scruffy shot, takes a big deflection,
that-
goes past the keeper. That's all right.
That is what we wanted to see from Marcus as well. Because I actually thought firstly he should have had a dig, but he just give it to Højlund. Højlund scored. Where in the first half, there was times when Marcus was just shooting when he shouldn't have done.
Yeah. See, the thing we've got to do now is push now.
Let's not do what we did last time we scored at the Allianz Arena.
Yeah.
But
And on!
Ericsson!
Yeah, they're going to have a chance here. Musiala. Oh, it's almost deflected.
That's Ericsson, that.
Yeah.
He's a weak link him tonight. I'm telling you now.
Poor tonight.
It's the FA Cup final all over again.
Yeah, poor from Ericsson, that. Just takes too long.
Just takes too long, and then he's too weak to get himself out of jail.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's a 3-on-3 counter.
The thing is as well, I just, like you were saying, if you bring on McTominay after the performance he put in on the weekend, is he going to be much better? Hannibal's probably a little bit too erratic.
We should be the ones on the front foot here. You don't want to bring McTominay into that environment.
No,
he
no.
doesn't offer much more. Corner to Bayern, way long. Free header for Upamecano. And is it a handball? Ericsson looked like he was facing away to me. They're going to be checking for VAR.
Just know we're going to get fucked here.
No.
It hits his arm, but his arm's here.
His hands are in front of his
arm's in front
chest
of his
anyway.
body. I think it'd be very harsh to give that. He's also about 3 feet away from it, isn't he? He's very close. Check over, right? There. Is it check over? Oh no, they're having a look at the Ericsson thing. They're going to give that. They're going to give that. Yeah, he's going to look at it. They're going to.
How's that a fucking penalty? That is not a penalty. And Christian Eriksen, whether you like it or not, has just had the worst 2 minutes ever. That all came from him giving the ball away.
They're going to give that, aren't they? His arm's out. They're going to give it. And it was a fucking nothing cross as well. An overhit corner to the man at the back post. Too long. Free header. Penalty.
That all came
Yeah.
from Eriksen just divering on the ball in midfield and losing it
We're trying to build a bit of momentum, and we're going to do the exact same thing we've done again. And we're going to concede
within a minute.
3 minutes of scoring. I can't even believe it. I can't believe that. This is when you know you're just in an absolute slump as a club, that even when you score, you concede straight after.
He's just had a nightmare 2 minutes there, Christian Eriksen.
It's harsh, isn't it?
It's harsh. It's not a penalty, that.
No.
It's mega harsh. I'm more annoyed with him about the fact that that corner came from him losing the ball in midfield and being too weak to tackle someone.
There's a chance for Onana to redeem
Mate,
himself.
there's more chance of... I can't watch penalties, mate.
Yeah, that's alright. Kane will score, won't he?
Course he will.
Yeah. Go on, Andre. Penalty to Bayern, obviously. Yeah, straight in. Smashed it in. Just low, bottom corner, smacked it. 3-1.
Do you know what? You need a bit of composure when you just scored that goal. Have a bit of composure in midfield, honestly. And then we've been stitched up as well with a horrific decision. That has got to be, right, the 4th time this season already we've been stitched up by the officials. There was the Spurs game. There's the Arsenal game, which I'm sorry, I don't care. You can't tell me that's offside. You can't even tell. Tonight, and then there was the other one against Brighton, which again was millimetres, if that.
Fuck's sake.
I'd take Eriksen off, mate. Not because of that penalty. I just think he's just getting overrun in midfield.
Yeah.
I'd maybe even stick Hannibal on. Sack it. Got nothing to lose now. It's like we're playing with 10 men. It's not his fault for the penalty, the actual incident.
No.
I'm more annoyed with what led to it.
Yeah, the reason they've got that corner in the first place is because he takes too long on the ball in their final third.
Yeah.
And gets the ball took off him.
And then he just can't make a tackle.
No. Don't have enough athleticism or energy to even
And
just foul.
in the first half it happened. Kane just walked past him with the ball.
Their first goal, again, it's obviously not his fault, but if you're looking at sort of signs that he's not having a good performance, Sané just sort of, he gets drawn to the ball, they go around him and he leaves a massive gap behind him that Sané runs into.
He's chasing shadows and he's just get him off, man. Get Hannibal on, get some energy, get someone in who's going to run around and just try and get hold of the ball.
McTominay on, to be honest.
I
know it's not.
I know.
Much, but I feel bad for
Ronnie
Hannibal.
was saying about having someone who can dictate the pace and pick passes and stuff like that. Eriksen first came to United, he was doing things like that.
Yeah, he was.
And then ever since that injury against Reading, look, it's just...
Yeah.
And he's got the wrong side of him, and it's...
Inside of the post there, almost scored again, Bayern. Go on then.
Oh, in front of him!
You know, Sané overlapping Reguilon there. Look at this, just fucking dominating,
Bruno.
bullying us now. Couldn't even see what happened there because we got a shot of Rashford running rather than Bruno on the ball. I want to watch the game. Just cuts back and Bruno's already lost it. Like, I don't know what happened.
Got to get someone else in midfield. You can't carry on like this. Whether you take Eriksen off or just add to the midfield, you need to do something.
Yeah. There's times like this where you wish that we didn't have 3 midfielders injured, isn't it? To be honest, I would consider taking Pellistri off
I was just thinking that.
and adding another midfielder because he's barely touched the ball, Pellistri. He's done nothing. No,
it's not his fault.
He's come into the team in probably the hardest game. Or
what I was just going to say before they got our goal, or before we got our goal, was I know he's almost he who shall not be named in a minute, but that is one thing Anthony brings back to the team. He tracks back, he gets involved defensively, and you see for their second goal, that's where you'd have him back, helping out his defender. Pellestri's not really that guy.
Just a little. No, Bray. Trying to play it in. See, this thing as well of like not being able to create our momentum or keep our own momentum. We just score a goal, and once again, they're the ones that are all over us. They're the ones that look like they've just scored. I know they have now, but they score immediately.
I know.
And we just cannot keep momentum at all. Reguilon there, just getting his shoulder getting tucked. What's it called? Sané running off his shoulder, side footing it, almost scoring. It's in the replay there.
This is just horrible.
Just non-stop pressure.
So annoying. The one thing we said, don't do what we did last time we scored at Allianz and just concede straight away afterwards. We give the ball away, get a corner, and it's a harsh handball that.
Same again. Look, long, deep corner to the back post. Eriksen gets to it this time. Again, look, it's just that corner that they got the penalty from. It's just an overhit, or maybe purposefully overhit. Deep ball way over everyone to the back post. Upamecano's there, and he's got a free header.
Yeah.
Again, it's not the thing that caused the goal, but it's another thing we go, why has he got a free header? Why is there a player that's in our box with all the time in the world to head the ball, and obviously it hits Eriksen's hand, unfortunately, and then they get for some reason that's a penalty in the Champions League, but it's not in the Premier League, and now it's just all Bayern. It's even worse. Like United, we had this. Look, Kane's free, 20 yards out. He slipped, almost slipped Sané in there. But not only are we mentally weak, United's team, but nothing makes you feel more mentally weak than when you thought you had a chance and then you're immediately crushed afterwards. Like, it's bad enough from 0-0, let alone when we've just scored.
Just not got at him at all today as well.
No. I feel like Rashford's barely had the ball.
He hasn't. He was having a little bit of joy with Reguilon earlier, but not much.
So
Right,
look
help
at
him
this
out
now,
now. He's got 3 men round him.
Yeah. He's done well to win a throw-in.
You know what I mean? Who's with him? Like they were saying on the commentary, in Europe, in Champions League, those types of handballs tend to be given.
Yeah.
Where in the Premier League, you might get away with it. But it's still harsh. And it's still, it makes a mockery of the whole VAR thing and what it was brought in for. And it's just nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come on,
Rashford.
let's do something. Go on, Marcus, skin him.
Rashford pulls it back.
Oh!
Rashford goes past Limo, does really well, cuts it back to Reguilon.
Oh, you just needed someone at the back stake there. There's no one there.
No. Just wide. Is it a goal kick or did it go out
I think he went out for a throw-in.
Throwing, so. Doing his best Reguilon. Do you know what is actually, now think about it, we've got a throw in now somehow because just you don't get to watch most of the game. Do you know what Reguilon's actually like? Do you know when if like at a job and the new bloke arrives
Yeah.
and the first couple of weeks they're trying their absolute fucking hardest and they're making you lot all look bad because you've been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And you've got to a point where it's like I can get away with not really trying very hard and the boss doesn't know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then the new bloke turns up and he's like pouring all the pints, serving more customers than you, and you're making you look like a dickhead.
Yeah,
Reguilon's
yeah.
making the rest of the team look like a dickhead.
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
realise they're just not trying hard.
No.
He's trying hard and he stands out a mile. He's doing 1-2s, he's running down the line, he's overlapping, he's tracking back, and he's comfortably United's best player tonight. You think,
where's the
where's
energy?
everyone else doing
What's
that?
everyone else doing? Like, what is it? Why is everyone else just giving up? Like, to be honest with you, I know he's adding in his touches, but Højlund, in terms of his effort, has not stopped running.
no, he's been all right, but he's
He's just not. He's not, and he's scored.
Yeah.
He's just not seen a lot of the ball.
No. See Ericsson dropping in here. Bit of space. We need to find a pass there. That's better. Go on, Pellistri. Just getting nothing out of him all, is he, Pellistri?
No, it's a horrible scenario for him to come into. To be fair to the kid as well.
One of the toughest games in world football.
Yeah,
For
barely played for Manchester United.
Yeah.
I can't remember last time he started for us in a proper game. Anyway.
Oh, Musiala just pissing through.
Ah! Let's have a challenge.
Kane on the right. He's got a shot here. Saved by Onana at the near post.
To be fair, it was a decent save, but he had to save that. And
Yeah,
if that goes in, he's
I'd have saved
he's
that.
getting subbed.
Nice. And what's Goretzka getting booked? Martinez getting booked. Again, I didn't really see what happened, did you?
Just
Bruno.
watching this there now. Gives him a little shove. Oh, Harry Kane's doing his thing of throwing himself
There's
about anyway.
nothing
Oh,
there
shut
at
up,
all.
you dickhead.
He literally just nudges him in the back.
It's
It's
never
not a
a
push,
yellow,
it's not
that.
an elbow, nothing. He just, like, nudges him. And then Goretzka's flying in.
Who's
'cause he
coming
thinks
on now?
he's
Is
hard.
it Coleman?
Yeah, Kingsley Coman, who I think has won, what is it, like, something like
11 titles in 10 years.
that.
Didn't he win 2 in 1 year or something?
Yeah, he won it for PSG and for, who was it? It might have been Bayern in the same, or PSG and Juventus, I think, in the
Brilliant.
same year.
Yeah, but has he ever won a Carabao Cup?
No,
No,
not
we
one.
have. Has he ever won a Bangkok Century Cup?
No, well, might have, actually.
I don't think so.
No. Did he win it 2022? Doubt it.
Exactly.
So Serge Gnabry off, Kingsley Coman on. Fucking hell. Love, good stuff.
In an alternative universe, he's another one we were linked with. Do you remember?
Can you imagine
Him,
having
Kim Min-jae and Kane play for us in another world.
Yeah. Can you imagine having a player like Kingsley Coman who doesn't start for you as a winger?
Hey,
United.
not
at the minute.
really.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, we're 2 steps away from giving you a game,
I know.
and then they're bringing on Kingsley Coman, who's won more titles than he's played games. It's just ridiculous. Do you know what?
Since
So annoying, that penalty. I know people go, but still, man.
Fucking hell,
Jesus Christ, Onana! What are you doing?
In the 15 minutes since we scored, we've barely touched the ball. And they've also scored.
I'm sorry, that looks to me like he should be catching that.
Or at least tip it over. It's got a good dip on it.
I mean, he almost gives it to Harry Kane. If that Kane had scored that's Onana's career over.
Yeah. Why do we do this?
That's Tom Eaton starting the next game. The good thing is we've got 12 keepers on the bench if Onana does fancy having a breather.
Can we bring 2 on, please? That's better. That's good goalkeeping, that from Onana. Comes out, punches the ball out for a throw-in. I like that. It's a bit of a mix-up before, come back with a bit of confidence. Love it.
Yeah. Don't forget to give us a subscribe as well. Let's get to 718,000 subscribers.
We'll need 70 more. Come on, if you're watching and if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. We need 70 more. That is shit, Bruno Fernandes. And you knew that pass wasn't on when you played it. You just couldn't be arsed doing anything else.
Well, there's a surprise, eh? A 50-50 of Eriksen and he don't win it.
Just getting the little toes and everything, aren't they, Bayern? Just those little half moments where it's our toe versus your toe.
Honestly, I'd bring Hannibal on me. I would. Just bring something into that midfield, a bit of Bayern, something.
Yeah, we need something to change, don't we?
You got nothing to lose here because we're just not in this game at all. We're not.
Look at this.
It's just poor, innit?
Yeah. We've gone full Brighton now. Look, we're not even pressing anymore.
No, just sitting back.
Watching them pass it around. We're all pissed off. We're all upset with ourselves. We scored and they scored straight after. I'm not going to try anymore. Look.
No, they open Meccano, he's ran himself into the ground, and he's not played that much football over the last few months.
No.
Right. Don't stand him up. Don't let him do you.
He's tricky and he's good, Coman. Clip to the back post, free header, plays it across, and Lindelof.
What are you doing there?
Come on, Facundo.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Look at this. Hit and hope football from United. Absolute hit and hope shit. Eriksen there's just done what Bruno did 2 minutes ago.
Just fit. We're
like a kids team. Oh, we're going to lose again. Yeah, McTominay. To be fair, I don't even mind it.
You've got to do something.
Don't fill me with inspiration, but we can't play
the midfield in a minute is abysmal. No. It's just getting overrun. Hit and hope.
They look knackered. We look knackered before every other team. I honestly do think that confidence and lack of confidence can manifest itself in so many ways. Looking tired is one of them. But I don't think he's fully fit, Martinez. He's coming off every week after 65 minutes. There's a reason for that. He's not a fully fit player, is it?
No.
Clearly not. And people like to go, he's not been quite as good. He hasn't been quite as good as last season. But I think a lot of that is down to the fact that he's clearly not fully fit.
Yeah, he's not, is he? I don't know what's going on. This is what I mean, though. If it was another club who had options and stuff, we'd have probably just rested him a bit longer or used him a bit sparingly. But we've got 35-year-old Johnny Evans as our next option tonight, which says it all. We can't afford to rest Martinez. It's just so frustrating. We never learn, do we? It's the same. Everything that's happened tonight is the same old from United.
Pass straight through the midfield.
No one there in midfield.
Harry Kane just look at how much space he's got. Right,
go on,
no one within 5 yards.
Help him out.
He's on the edge of our box.
Oh, stop doing that, Eriksen.
He's on the edge of our box. Sorry,
Jesus
he almost
Christ.
gets the edge of our box with no one near him there, Harry Kane. Just heads down. We've lost.
He should have done that when we just got our goal. Eriksen coming off for McTominay.
Yeah, he's fucked, isn't he?
He's knackered, Eriksen. And also, he's not that guy, is he? I think Steve was saying it in a tweet earlier. He's like, the midfield there every minute, it's just, he's scared it gets overrun, and it does.
Yeah, it does. Go on then. Got some men here now. Find a pass. Oh,
You didn't need to give him that then.
no, he didn't.
Should have kept hold of it, lad.
And they can be all composed and chilled out and cool on the ball now as well, Bayern, can't they? Because they know that we're heads down. Meccano, he just loves a half fuck up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like bad touch and then a pass at chest height to his teammate. Bouncing at him like up to his chest. Could have got more out of him today.
I know.
He makes 5 or 6 half mistakes every game.
We haven't really exploited it, have we?
No.
We haven't really exploited much, to be honest with you.
No, we haven't.
Rashford's had a little bit of joy with Reguilón down that left-hand side, but not enough. And there's not really been much happening anywhere else.
No. Go on then, find a man. Well done. Oh, not well done. They're going to get out of this, aren't they? They're going to have loads of space to run into. Yeah, there you go.
Go on, Bruno.
So predictable. Look at this. We can't be this easy. If you want to play high press, high line, possession football, you can't be this easy to counter.
No.
It's like, it's just suicide.
Yeah.
It's literally like what opposition teams love to play against. You have obviously the weakness is going to be you're going to be susceptible to counterattacks. So all of your work, or a lot of your work, has to be in how you prevent that, or what you do when that's happening.
Yeah.
We're so easy to counterattack, and people make chance after chance after chance against us. We don't stop it.
No.
We don't know how to stop it, and when it is happening, we don't know where to position ourselves to limit the impact that it has on us. So we give the ball away, and they just have really good chances all the time.
Yeah.
That's insane. I think we've got the highest, or the third highest, expected goals against this season.
Marcus!
We just concede chance after chance.
No, it's just unacceptable. It's not good enough. And it's so predictable as well, man. When things start going wrong for us, you can see what's coming.
We're 6 games into the season, Jay.
I know, and it's already unravelling.
And look, it's not like a solid
4 defeats.
We happen to have lost the game, upsy daisy. You know, we look. They just look how much space everyone's got. Passing through us. I'd take Pellistri off just because he's barely touched the ball. Like, Anthony Martial's one of the sort of senior members of the squad at this point. He's someone that should be able to take the pressure and the occasion of a game like this.
Listen to you shout.
Get Pellistri off. Bring Martial on. I don't think that helps, though, does it?
Such lack of options as well.
I know.
That's the issue. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Who do you?
It's like you said there when he brought McTominay on, you don't even mind that. It's like Owen Hargreaves there saying, when you get Varane back, when you get Shaw back, Amrabat's going to make a big difference. And I get all that, and I agree with it, and I think they will. But you look at that team that we put out there tonight, and look at the performances from players. It's just not good enough. Like, Onana's had a stinker. There's no sugarcoating it. Eriksen, who's a good player, a passenger. Marcus hasn't really done anything.
No.
I know he got an assist for the goal, but he's not got at him as much as he should be. Bruno, again, he's not having a good start to the season, Bruno.
Got a few super chats.
Go on.
Fergal McClements says Eriksen has been awful, gave the ball away far too easy before that when United were building. Yeah, you said.
See what I mean? Look at that there. That sums it up.
Choupo-Moting
coming on, great stuff.
Ryan Singh says Hargreaves is absolutely correct. The Romero handball wasn't given because the Premier League has different rules to the Champions League. Why are there different rules? Yeah, there shouldn't be, should there? Different strictnesses on different types of things.
Brexit for you.
Yeah, that's true. We can't even agree on a set of rules with Europe. Jan Inge Hoff says Premier League has different rules than the rest of Europe. Remember Europa League last year? Yeah, but that
was wrong.
They just
the
got
Martinez
the rule
one
wrong.
was wrong, and he admitted that he made a mistake. It is leg first, or his hip, and then his hand, and he said they shouldn't give that. I feel sorry for Højlund, man. He's ran himself into the ground. Ran himself into the ground, got his goal, and it's all for naught. Oh, come on, man. That's too easy.
Well done.
Right.
Well done, Casemiro. Right, go on, Scott. What you got now? Find a pass.
It's better. Come on, Marcus, do something. Do something, son.
Yeah. Well, just stand there.
Switch it.
1 goal, and there's a chance for a draw.
And if we get a draw...
We're playing like it's with 5-0.
Wake up! Oh my God!
We're just so slow. We forget that the opposition won a sprint and won a run.
Unbelievable.
Well, there you go, edge of the box. No one's on him. Shot coming up for Sané. Oh, he's over at that.
Jesus wept, Casemiro.
Right, well, that has to be a whistle for a United sub, surely.
I think it's Choupo-Moting coming on for whoever.
To be
The
fair,
thing is, like, you look at that bench and...
who makes us better?
Do you know what I mean? What
Maybe
are you going to do?
Garnacho?
Is Garnacho on the bench? I forgot about him.
Yeah, I'd get him on for Pellistri maybe, but... Martial.
Andy Martial.
Isn't it mad that Martial, even as a sub, just done...
Got booed at the weekend, didn't it? That decision.
You won't favour him over Pellistri?
Garnacho's not a bad shout.
Yeah, what, on the right?
Yeah, I suppose so. At least he can get down there and he'll have a bit of energy to him and maybe put them on the back foot a little bit.
Yeah, we've still probably got, 20 minutes left in this game. It's not impossible that United could score 2 goals.
No.
And if you're Ten Hag, you've probably got to be thinking, how can we get back in it?
Yeah. You
Or
can't
is he
keep
thinking,
losing football matches, man. You just can't.
Yeah.
You have to start winning them.
A little bit of waffle with the super chat said, this is what you get when you don't get your transfers done early. We're 13 games into the season, including friendlies, and still not seeing our team yet. We didn't see it once last season. Can I remind you of that? There's a pass on there to the right wing. The team that most people would agree was United's first choice team last season, we never saw it once. So
I think Eric Ten Hag said that in his pre-match presser. I think he was saying that he's not had his first team. I don't think he's had his options ever.
He's not.
There's always been at least one player injured, which is almost par for the course. You tend to just have a lot of injuries, or there's always someone injured, but you think at least once you'd have your team that you wanted.
Well, that team of, who was it last season? De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford, Martial, Sancho, or Rashford, Martial, Anthony.
Yeah.
Never started a game together.
Really? That's shocking, isn't it?
Because by the time Martial was fit, Eriksen was out for 3 months. Sancho was out for 3 months. Varane was out. Lindelof, Martinez and Varane got injured in the same game, didn't they, against Sevilla? Fucking hell. Good tackle there. Who's that? It's the nature as well, innit? It's not a close game that we're going to get sort of, a lucky break here or there, a scruffy thing that, like, it's chance after chance.
I know.
I know they're not turning them into shots, but the amount of 3-on-3s or 3-on-4s or whatever that they're getting at the minute is absolutely insane. Just constantly, United are offering nothing going the other way whatsoever.
It's mad as well, because you look at how many players aren't performing at the level you need them to perform. And it's like, it's not even the players that you go, okay, they're not first teamers. It's players that are first teamers.
Yeah.
Like, they're not really turned up. And even when everyone's fit, some of these players will start for United, and they're not at the races at all. Oh my God.
Not a foul anyway. Free shot there. Good save, Onana.
Well done, Onana.
Free shot. 18-yard line there for Choupo-Moting. No one near him. I don't understand, because we're not attacking.
Yeah.
So how are we being counter-attacked? Have you ever seen that before? Have you ever seen a team get counter-attacked every 60 seconds when they haven't even attacked in that 60 seconds?
That just shows you how slow we are getting back.
They had 2-on-1 overlapping our... I think it was Martinez being dragged out to that side. We didn't even have an attack.
No, I don't know what's going on.
Where's our team? Where's Pellistri? Where's Dallo? Where are these players? They're not attacking. They're not at the other end.
I don't
Everyone's
know, man.
just stood. They stood on the halfway line, from corner to Bayern, out to Sané. Like, come on, let's try something. Get Garnacho makes some sense, surely. Just space in it. Look at this. He's knackered now, Reguilon as well.
Yeah, he's ran himself into the ground. That's gone!
He's tried his best, to be fair. There's Choupo-Moting, who's just a bang average striker, in it. He's decent at a few things, but not great at anything. Like that, there. You can't lose that there. We win. How many times today
through his legs there?
have we won the ball
Oh,
and then lost it straight
Somebody
away?
falls over.
Hold on, Onana. We win it back, Dallo, and then he gets tackled straight away. That keeps happening. We win it and we think, they'll probably stop trying now.
Yeah. It's awful. Just
Mostly, I know you
awful.
can't help slipping over, but it always looks so amateurish, doesn't it? I don't know what's happened here, but
because we just missed
the pitch.
everything. Next thing you know,
But again,
their
it's
goalkeepers get it.
It's that thing I was on about in the first half. Oh, here we go. Good.
Bad touch!
His second touch is a
Jesus
tackle.
Christ, McTominay.
I said that
And
last
now
week.
they're counter-attacking.
It's up and Meccano's going to
Couldn't trap a bag of cement.
Man on the edge of the box, free shot if you want it. There it is. Boot it out, yeah.
Well done, Bruno Fernandes.
He's got to be so fucking upset. There you go. Martial and Garnacho, as we've been crying out for. I think it's Pellistri and Højlund coming off. Fair enough.
Højlund's got to be knackered, man. He's done well.
Yeah.
I take it he's played in the Champions League before Højlund. Atlanta in the Champions League last season.
Yeah, they were. I assume he's played, yeah. He's got a goal at the Allianz, do you know what I mean?
No, that's what I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like his first Champions League game.
Don't think so. I'll double check now. We've played in Champions League qualifying for Atalanta last year.
Wow.
I don't know if that counts as a Champions League game, but it might be.
We'll give it him. Was it Memphis that who scored that brace for us in the qualifying under Van Gaal?
Yeah.
Come on, United. 10 minutes. Just get a fucking goal, even if it's just a bit of pride. 3-2's not that grim.
It don't feel like a 3-2 though, does it?
No, it feels like a 6-0.
Yeah. God's sake. Hold on.
Go on,
Too
Marcus.
fast, Alonso. Alfonso Davies, sorry. He loves going down. He loves going down from a tackle than he Davies.
He barely touched him.
Yeah, I know.
Just put his hand on him and he's threw himself on the floor.
Hold on. Chance here. Oh, is McTominay wearing fucking boots or has he got his slippers on? Why are you falling over all the time? He's through on goal there if you don't fall over. He fell over 20 seconds ago at the other end and he's going to be through on goal there and he falls over. What fucking boots has he got on?
God knows.
Genuinely, has he just got what? Short studs on or something? Why are you falling over all the time? He's literally through on goal there, isn't he? If you don't fall over.
I wondered why Martial give it to him, but I think if he hadn't fell over, he would have been through.
He
Like
would
you said.
have. He just laid it off to him. The goalkeeper's in front of him. That's a one-on-one with the goalkeeper there that we've lost because McTominay's slipped over. In the last 5 minutes, he slipped over the edge of our box, leaving them to have a free shot. He's given the ball away in a good opportunity on the edge of their box. Second touch being a tackle, as it typically is with him.
Jesus Christ, thank God he saved that.
Yeah, I just want Onana to not have another.
No, I
clanger
thought,
now.
no, let's not make it a massive thing. It's already a big thing. Let's not exacerbate it with anything else.
Let's make it be the mistake rather than a host of mistakes.
Yeah.
Rather than being a hive of mistakes.
Oh, God. Again.
How have they got the ball already? We need to slow it down. This is just desperate.
Go on, Marcus. Skin him. Oh, it's a great ball out as well.
Good.
Let's have a look here. Picks him out. First, I mean, that's probably his first touch on the pitch, to be fair to Garnacho.
It's not easy.
No. It's only got 7 minutes as well. It's a shame. Have you got to do that thing?
After the game.
How is it?
Bloody hell.
Do you know what? Get these players back, right? Let's be positive. Yeah. Amrabat for Eriksen makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So I'm told. Yeah. Because I ain't going to pretend that I know a lot about Sofian Amrabat. I'm just been told off by social media that he's the guy.
Yeah. They haven't seen anything of him either.
Right, okay. Raphael Varane coming in for Lindelof is an upgrade. He just is. Yeah. And then, who else have we got?
Mason Mount.
Mason Mount, yeah. He's not really got going yet. I expect him to.
We've got Anthony and...
I'd always have Wan-Bissaka over Delo, personally.
Yeah.
I just think he's a better player.
Yeah, obviously
so
when De Gea comes back, we can swap
De Gea,
well.
yeah. And then when we recall Mason Greenwood back from Getafe, hey,
we'll have half a team.
Yeah, that'll be it. Can't see what the problem is. It's mad, isn't it? It's like, what is it? What date is it? The
20th of September.
20th of September. And I'm already looking at the January transfer window as saving our season. Can we get any more loans in January? Hey, have Spurs got any more fullbacks they don't need? Because Reguilon has been one of our best players tonight.
Good block, Casemiro. Fergal McClements with a good point, actually. Feel like these boys are knackered, but we don't have the squad depth to rest players, even when the injured ones come back. Well, when the injured ones come back, we do a little bit. We don't really have any strikers because you wouldn't trust Martial to beat, Reading.
No.
But most positions we've got a bit of backup. But when you've got a full 11 of injured players, that I'm sure most of everyone's seen on social media, it is hard to rest players, isn't it? It is. We said it before the game. We're in a shit situation with injuries because not only can you not rest players, you can't drop players if they're playing bad. No. And when you make subs, the team gets worse. That's not a good position to be in.
No, it's not. You looked at that bench tonight. I mean, when the squad was announced, the travelling squad, and you see, no disrespect, but you see one injury away from starting or from playing a 35-year-old Johnny Evans. You've got a load of kids on there who've barely kicked a ball for Manchester United. Certainly not in competitive games anyway. It's not great, is it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? You look at it and you worry. And then when you talk about like the difference in quality, Bayern Munich are bringing on Choupo-Moting, who scored a load of goals from last season. They're bringing on Kingsley Coman, who can't stop winning. Even Thomas Muller, who's a bit of a legend. It's like
massive legend.
Yeah, they're bringing on quality there.
Yeah.
And we're relying on McTominay, who's not at the levels you need, and he's just had one of his worst ever games for the club. Garnacho, he's decent. I like Garnacho, and I've got no qualms, to be honest with you, about bringing him on. But it's not great. It's Martial. I think we'd have sold him if we could. It's just... It's all the time when we come into these big games as well. Like, I feel like when we come up to like the sort of creme de la creme, the top teams, and you look at their bench compared to ours, not just tonight we've had injuries, you can see the gulf.
Yeah.
You remember last season at the FA Cup final? I remember City bringing on like Phil Foden, who had like 17 goals that season, or whatever it was, 12 goals that season. I don't know, lots of goals that season. And we were bringing on like, was it Weghorst? And you just think, that's part of the problem. We haven't got the squad.
Nice. Bit of something from Martial there. 2 bits. Out wide. That's a good touch, that. Oh, it's almost.
Yes! Yes! Come on! Oh my God! Smash and grab, bro!
Casemiro
Come
with the
on!
ball there. Brilliant from Casemiro. I thought he'd sort of juggled it into giving possession away, and somehow we're one goal behind him.
Jesus Christ!
I haven't really celebrated either goal because I'm sort of stunned. What's happened here? Good stuff on the edge of the box. Bruno with a lovely pass in there to Rashford. Flicks around the corner, no question. Oh, I don't think there's a question of offside. Brilliant from Casemiro. Sort of juggles it over his head. across his body, and while he's on the floor, just sort of
Stands on the ball, falls over, and flicks it in, and we'll take it.
tell you
Hey,
what,
we'll have that.
there'll be 5 or 6 minutes left to play here. Maybe closer to.
Do you know what? The only
to 10, depending on how much
the
stoppage time.
only, the only trouble is, I can't remember or think of a time we've ever scored 2 late goals against Bayern Munich.
No,
It's never happened before
no.
in our history.
They're going to score again in 30 seconds, aren't they? That's what's actually going to happen.
Yeah. Scott McTominay's going to fall over with a ball.
Go on then. Well done, Bruno. Oh, no, well done, Bruno.
Oh, he's unlucky there. Oh, now you're looking lively, aren't you, little weasel?
Well done, Bruno. Well done, Bruno.
Yes!
Well done, lads. Come on. If we
draw this, right, this is honestly this is like the 99 final when we were shocking and we won.
We weren't even this bad then.
No.
And we were dreadful.
We were terrible.
They posted about 8 times in that game. Do you remember?
Like where Schmeichel just gave up.
Yeah.
Wow, that's going in. I can't be bothered
it's
with
not
that.
gone in. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mate, I can't cope.
Go on, Anthony. Free kick.
It's a penalty, that. What's the matter with you? He ended up in the area. Hey. Mate, we can't get some out of this game. That'd be crazy. We're not. If we got some out of this game, that'd be mental.
Fair, just even being 3-2 feels like we've won. How bad we've been tonight.
It feels like a victory.
The fact that we might only lose by 1, and we've scored twice.
Mate, how many minutes was it on the board?
I don't know.
4.
It's like old school. Come on,
mate. Come on, bro. Come on.
Free kick. It's decent, that. Oh,
someone should be on that.
Area as well, that. Come on, we've got to win this when the second or third ball here. Well done, Regulon bouncing around. He's gone for it. Foul him!
Foul him! Foul him, Marcus! What's up with you?
Come on.
Bruno does the Bruno thing there.
Oh, Thomas Muller's at the post. And then he's just blocked the shot that was on target as well.
Bloody hell.
This game is insane. This game is ridiculous. We're all too knackered to even sort of mount an attack. He's got a chance in the middle of the box here, yeah.
Oh. That just sums it up.
That reminds me of the Salah one against United, do you remember?
Yeah,
He just turns and just fucking stabs it in. What are we doing? What are we doing? We have literally, 3 times already this season, scored a goal and conceded within 3 minutes.
We should have been all over them for the last 3 minutes, then.
That's not his fault. That absolutely is not his fault. Roof of the fucking net from 6 yards out. The concession of goals at the minute is hugely concerning for United.
Thing is,
it 14 goals were conceded in 6 games? Look how easy that is. No, I'm not blaming the keeper.
No, that's a
roof of the net. No.
Man, he's going to get stick, though, because of the amount of goals he's conceded anyway.
Well, yeah, he deserves stick for the first
mistake
goal.
And the fact this is like, what is it? 14 goals he's conceded this season. So he's Onana's in the doghouse. Fucking
hell.
Right. Oh, shut up.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, every team, if they actually try, they just score.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what it was as well, right? When a minute ago, when they just before that goal, when they hit the post, I thought, this could be one of those mad smash and grabs, because they've had so many chances. That's better for Miners, eh?
Come on, let's only lose by 1.
Yeah, let's get a.
Come on,
let's make it a 7-goal thriller.
Let's only lose by 1.
That's the level we're at now.
That's the new motto.
Yeah, that's the new chant.
Let's just lose by 1.
We'll only lose by 1. We'll only lose by 1. And now you better believe us.
Look, McTominay's on there.
What are you doing, you nana? Oh my God, wake up. I'm going to look back to the keeper now.
McTominay was on in the middle of the box there. If Martial had tried to find him. Hold on. That's a foul, ref. He just booted his shins.
Again, get him in the book.
Is he not on a booking? Surely he needs one if he isn't.
Thing is, right, we'll do these at Old Trafford. We will.
Go on, why?
Hey, 73,000 Reds singing their hearts out, getting at him. Amrabat will be back for that one, and he's the missing link, so I'm told.
Yeah.
Mason Mount, Champions League winner. Do you know what I mean? You don't know. Wan-Bissaka, yeah, all right, we'll be sound.
Go on, 4-3 it. I'll take 4-3.
Go on. Take 4-3.
Yeah!
Go on! This game is mental, right? What is going on? And why have we scored a third when the time's finished?
Right. Check. Fuck all is what you'll check. Bruno scored straight from oh no, he hasn't. It's Casemiro. It's another Casemiro goal.
It's a goal. It's not. What's this a check?
Just check something. Oh, the only thing is, have they got enough time to get their goal?
Yeah. If I was a betting man now, I'd be betting on 5-3.
What are we checking for? Just fucking end it. Just blow the whistle. Oh, come on. Goal.
Right. Well, that check took at least 6 minutes.
16.
So there should be another 5 minutes now. Put him under.
Win it. Full time.
Do you know what?
I don't understand what we've seen.
I'll take that.
Manchester United.
That's a moral victory.
Bayern Munich 4, Manchester United 3. What? If you'd have said to me before the game, we'll score 3 goals tonight, I could not imagine it feeling much worse than that. Like, that was hell.
Do you not remember the Etihad?
That's true, yeah. Other than the 6-3 against City. That is one of the most bizarre games of football I've ever seen. United should have conceded 8 or 9.
Yeah.
We were dreadful.
Yeah.
And somehow, I'm not obviously happy, and there's a lot to dissect, and it won't be positive. Almost relieved at that full-time scoreline.
I feel like, perversely, even though we've lost again away from home, we've conceded 4 goals, there's been the question about battling and fight and keep going. There was enough of that tonight that Erik ten Hag needs to build on it. It's not good enough. It's not good enough by any stretch of imagination. But let's not forget, our next trip isn't to the Allianz Arena, it's to Turf Moor. So you got to look at it and go, right, come on, Burnley, it's a different kettle of fish. Let's get at him. Let's get a result, and let's get this season kick-started, because to lose by 1 goal at the Allianz Arena isn't the end of the world. It's just the fact we conceded 4 goals. The Onana mistake was terrible. I'm not going to dispute that. I thought the penalty was harsh, very harsh, and yeah, you can see Casemiro consoling him there. McTominay. It's good to see that. I like to see that, and at least we showed a bit of fight. So yeah. Not great. It's never great losing, and conceding 4 goals isn't good enough, especially the nature of some of them. But I don't know, if I'm trying to be positive, there's a little bit of fight in the team there that I need to see.
And it feels slightly easier to be positive with 2 goals in the last 15 minutes than it would have done otherwise. Joshua Bowater sums it up perfectly. Let's just hope the opposition fans haven't watched that game and we can play it off as a nail-biting 7-goal thriller where either team could have won the game. I think that's perfect. That is going to be all from us. We'll be back in a few moments for the review. Nagesh says dark comedy at its best, and it was. Manchester United 3, Bayern Munich 4, another loss, a bizarre game. I don't even really know what to say, but we will muster some thoughts in the review, so make sure you stick around and check that out in just a couple of minutes. Thank you, Jay, for joining us. Thank you, Ronaldo, as well.
I think we're almost there as well on the subs. Are we going to get to 718,000 subs?
We aren't going anywhere until someone hits subscribe.
Watchalong on the channel. Come on. If you've not subscribed yet,
Come on.
Subscribe, man.
One more.
Come subscribe. Is it going to happen?
It might never happen, Jay.
Oh,
What do we
it's
do?
it's like the game tonight. Just when we thought we were going to make it, we just fell a little bit
If
short.
you haven't hit subscribe,
There we
That's
go.
gonna be all
Right,
from
quick
us.
before someone unsubscribes.
We'll see you in a bit.